Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everybody out there, wherever you are in the world. It is match day and a match where I think Spurs should be winning. However, I know most of you don't listen to me anyway. Negative old Arsenal fan over here, apparently. But the last three score predictions I've got terribly wrong, people. Sorry, I'm just looking at days like today. I hate because you've got to try and find apps because the game's not on TV. So I'm looking at my apps and I'm just trying to work out which one's going to be best for me. But yeah, listen, let's start this properly. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to each and every one of you. Tottenham Hotspur versus Fulham. I tell you what I've not done there. Why on earth have I not shared my screen? That is very rude of me. There we go. Hopefully that should show. Yeah, there we go. Tottenham Hotspur versus Fulham. So my last three predictions were 4-0. We were going to beat Ipswich 4-0. We didn't. We're going to lose. We were going to lose. I'm sorry, this app is just constantly making noise. I don't know why. I've got the sound off. Stop making noise. Having an absolute mare here, people. Settings, 1 second. Bear with me. Come on, settings, sound. Oh, gosh, what's going on? Oh, my gosh. General settings. Yeah, we'll do general settings. Bear with me, people. I'm having an absolute mare today. Start, play on click. Oh, I don't know about all of that. Oh, no, I don't want that. No, let's just go back to, this. There we go. 4-0, I predicted. 4-0 versus Ipswich. 4-0. I predicted we'd lose to Man City 2-1. I predicted we beat Roma 3-1. What's the moral of the story? Don't believe a word that this guy says. Look, and this mug, if anyone remembers this, from a Spursy podcast. Anyone remember that? This is before I was a fake Spurs fan on YouTube. I was on SoundCloud, having a podcast. So, yeah, absolutely crazy times at Tottenham. Win one, lose one, draw one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Can Spurs stop that today? I think we can. I think it's a game we've got to win. Let me know what you think. But for me, I think this is a game we have to win. There are no excuses, really. Fulham are a decent team. If we look at the Premier League table, Tottenham on 19 points, Fulham on 18 points. But I would fully expect us to be beating Fulham at home. In Fulham's last game, they were heavily beaten at home by Wolves. And Wolves, as we know, are at the bottom. And listen, I've said that I think my score prediction today is free. I think my score prediction today is Tottenham 3, Fulham 1. But we do have a habit of making things hard for ourselves. I just get the feeling today won't be one of those days. Sometimes, we have those first halves where we're not really involved. And then before you know it, boom, 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 we're 3-1 up, 4-1 up. I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those days, but I'm sure other people will have a different say. I'm sure there'll be people out there telling you that Savva's predicted we'll lose today. Well, you've heard it here from me. I've said it all weekend. I've said it all week. I fully expect a lot of time. Ryan McFarland, absolutely a Spursy podcast. Jeez, that takes me back. You got abuse for using Spursy back there. Oh, mate, Ryan, I could come on here and predict Spurs to win 9-0, predict Spurs to do the quad, and I'm still going to get people in my chat telling me I'm not a Spurs fan. I've never known anything like it. It was funny. I woke up this morning, got a message, and someone had gone back, watched the show before Man City, and I said, oh, I'd bite your hand off for a draw, or I'd bite your arm off for a draw, whatever it was, whatever I said. And this person going, oh, my God, see, you're not a Spurs fan. You've got no confidence. And I'm like, hang on. I can't just sit here and say we're going to win every game. Like that's nonsensical. The fact that Tottenham have lost 5 games already this season tells you that if you just sit here and say we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win, then it's silly. However, today I do truly believe we will win, as I did against Roma, as I did against Ipswich, as I did against Palace, as I did against Leicester. So, hey, the moral of the story, don't listen to Savva. Let's have a look at a few of the people in the chat. How we doing? Big up Vinny Rowley. Big up Tom Thacker. Tony Rodriguez in the chat. Ronnie, I said Anjin. I don't know why everyone needs to do Anjin, Anj out every single show. It's just so, ugh. It's really boring. For me, Just get the club consistent. That's all I want to see. Let's just stop this win one, lose one nonsense. Big up to Mojo in the house. How we doing, man? Big up to Bella. Bella, God, it must be really early where you are, mate. Costa del Spurs, let's have it. Absolutely. Yeah, I've got a good feeling for today. I have Mr. Savva late, like Andrew's substitutions. Yes, sorry, I was having a mare. I sat down, I was ready to go. And then I forgot I'd made a cup of tea and then ended up making two. Look, I've got 2 cups of tea. I've got one that's very Christmassy, but it's Christmassy still with a French Bulldog on the front. So still with a French Bulldog. I like French Bulldogs, if you couldn't tell. And then obviously we've got the Spursy podcast. What else have we got today? Oh, I'll tell you what else we've got today for the show, guys. You know, for a little sugar rush or some irresistible milk chocolate cookies, because that's going to help my waistline as I get older. And as always, ironically, since I stopped drinking, I only ever drink out of a beer glass. So make of that what you will, whether you think that's weird. Good morning to Mark Cook in the house. Mark Cook, who's just come back from holiday. I hope you have got a nice tan. When does our game kick off? I mean, some people have been telling me it kicks off at 1:30. It doesn't, does it? Our game does kick off at 2, right? We're 1:30. We're a 1:30 kickoff. What is gone on with me? I thought we were a 2 o'clock kickoff. I'm having an absolute mare. That means the team should be out very, very shortly. Guys, girls, let me know in the chat. What are you expecting today? Don't have to give me a full-on score prediction. Michael Rogers said, please, no overconfident score predictions. I don't think is 3. I'll ask you. I know you weren't speaking just to me, but is 3-1 an overconfident score prediction, or should that be what we do? Bryce has said, footballer literally said the same thing to my wife all the time. 3 minutes. It gets harder to do 3 minutes as you get older, doesn't it, Bryce? Big up to Chalks Tottenham. Big up to Kate Rixham. How you doing, Kate? Hope you're well, lovely. Big up Ethan Bates in the house. I'm just checking somewhere to see if the lineups are out. Score 808 is a good app. Oh, okay. I can't. There are other apps available. Big up Anthony Clark. Big up A Spursy. Big up John Fitzpatrick. Guten Morgen, Mike Clifford. By the way, completely non-Spurs related. Who is watching The Jackal? I started it yesterday. And when I say started it, I started it about 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and then ended up going through to about 1 a.m. and watching the first 5 hours. Who's watched The Jackal? That is a fantastic show. Rule of the Universe. Oh, no. Words like masterclass are coming out. I don't think beating Fulham 3-1 is a masterclass. I think we used to just call it a win. I don't know why everything needs to be a masterclass. Winforce has said 3-2 to Tottenham. Ryan thinks we're going to lose. Oliver Freeman said every time I haven't watched Spurs this season, we've lost, and I'm missing today. Has stuck working. No, listen, I think you'll be all right today. I think we're going to win. I'm just checking to see if the scores are out. The team sheets are out. And the team is out, people. The team is out, and our very favourite Timo Werner is in the team. The team is Fraser Forster in goal, Porro, Dragoshin, Davis, and Adogi as a back 4. Star, Bissouma, and Maddison. Werner, Son, and Johnson. So no Kulusevski, no Solanke, even on the bench. The bench is Austin, Spence, Gray, Reggie. Reguilon is on the bench. Kulusevski, Bergval, Ulasesi, Williams, Barnett, and Lancashire. So no Dominic Solanke today. So the question for me will be, which one of those 3 plays through the middle? Is it going to be Werner? Is it going to be Son? Is it going to be Johnson? Still more than enough there, but just to confirm, the team is Forster in goal, Porro right back, Davis and Dragosine centre half with Adogi at left back, Sarr, Bissouma and Maddison as your midfield 3 with Werner, Son and Johnson. What do you make of that team, people? Let me know. Big up to Tony Rodriguez. Big up to Elias. Big up to Anthony Clark. Big up to Seven, who said he've got Liverpool to win 5-0 today. Oh, I really don't know with that game. I really don't know. I'm just going to try and I'll get a Fulham team for you. Hang on, let's get the Fulham team up. Let's see what Fulham are dealing with. Where's my Sky Sports app? So many apps. Where are we? Come on, Sky Sports. You can do better than that. Come on. Tottenham versus, here you go, the team news. Fulham line up. Oh, they haven't done it in order, have they? Fulham line up with Bernd Leno in goal. Tete, Diop, Bassi and Robinson as a back four. Sanderberg, Sasa Lukic and Iwobi with Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson and Raul Jimenez. So I don't really think there's any surprises there from Fulham. It's going to be an interesting game. It is going to be an interesting game. Did I just see, is Traore playing? Did I mention him? No Traore playing, which is good for us. We don't want Traore with his pace. Let's break the Tottenham pattern today. Yes, let's break the pattern. Let's get a couple of league wins in a row, shall we? That'd be amazing. A Nige of Pure Coys. Big up. One of my favourites. Hope you're well. That's some serious bunts. I don't know what the word bunts means, but big up to you, Lord Rodney Trotter. Rich C has said, not even going to predict the result today as we are so chaotic. What version of Spurs will turn up? Hopefully moderated tactics, not the entertainment. Ange keeps promising. I do think a lot of that was tongue-in-cheek of what he was saying. What do I think of rumours of James Trafford and Anthony Patterson? I think if James Trafford's coming in as a number 2, fine. I do think we should be looking at better. For me, we should be looking at bringing in players that immediately challenge. If we're going to be brutally honest, hang on, let me just see if I can get this on my app. Hang on, come on, Tottenham Hotspur. There we go. Play. Go on. Come on. What's going on? What's going on, Tottenham? Hang on. There we go. Just to confirm, Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur is loading. Let's see what happens in a minute with that one. Hang on, what's going on? Big up to Ryan McFarland, who said, I've learned that when our fans say easy win, we lose. When our fans are confident, that's when I worry. Look, I don't think it's about being confident. These are games we should be winning. Let's for 1 second forget Jin and Jout, haters, doubters, happy. Let's forget all these silly words we all use as fans. Tottenham should be beating Fulham at home. Doesn't matter who's manager. Tottenham should be beating Fulham at home. This isn't Ange can win and Ange can't and Jose can't. We should be beating Fulham at home. Does anyone agree? Mohammed Bella, big up Bella with a super chat. So big up Savva. I fell asleep. I should start that again. Big up Savva. I fell asleep 20 minutes before the watch-along yesterday. I tried. Yeah, listen, it was very, very early for you. So no judgment my end. It was a good game, actually. I mean, West Ham threatened to make it a really good game at 4-2. And then their goalkeeper goes and punches Gabriel in the head. But it is what it is. Big up to Mohammed Riyad. Said, I hope we win. I got the new COVID strain. Get well soon, my man. I had this a few weeks back, didn't I? And yeah, it knocks you out. It completely knocks you out. Marco said, I'm only worried about this game. Do you remember last season we was on a high after some good victories, then Fulham happened. Now, I don't want to bring bad luck. Look, I hear you. Look, we've got to get out of this cycle of win one, lose one. We've got to get back. We've got to get to some form of consistency. What we can't keep doing is when we lose a game, say, well, if we had won that, we would have been second. We can't keep doing that. We can't keep doing that. At the end of the day, you've got to start putting the wins together. By the way, in Acca Watch, does anyone care? I'm going to tell you anyway. My Acca today is this: Rangers away at St Johnstone, and it's 0-0, and it's on my telly box. Villarreal to beat Girona. I've got Chelsea to beat Villa, because I think Villa are in all sorts of trouble at the moment. United to beat Everton. Real Madrid to beat Getafe. Lyon to beat Nice. And Juventus to win away at Lecce this evening. So someone will let me down. Someone will let me down. But that's what I think is going to happen today. Again, Henry Fong, I don't think it's benched. Listen, that guy has played every minute. You know, he looked tired for me. I thought he didn't have a great game the other night. I thought he looked tired. So for me, I get it, right? I get it. That team is atrocious. I don't think that team is atrocious. I don't think that team is atrocious at all. Hang on. Why is sound coming out of my... Bear with me 1 second, people. There we go. No. Thank you very much. There we go. I've got a Samsung tablet, and every now and then it just does its own thing. But now the sound should be off. I don't think that team was atrocious at all. Let's be brutally honest. That team should be beaten. I didn't see Cam. Are we going to be friends now, Cam? I feel like we should be friends. I feel like there's too much hate in this world and this arena. So let's be friends. I have not seen any reason why Solanke's not playing. I don't think it's a huge loss. I honestly don't. I don't think he's been that great, if I'm honest. That's only me. Savva, is that the best we can do? What a poor lineup. Look, guys and girls. We knew the squad going into the season. We knew the squad. I don't know why when players are missing, we then start going, oh my God, look at the team. This is the squad that we went into the season with. It is what it is. It is what it is. Thoughts on yesterday's results? Not a lot, really. I mean, look, West Ham are in all sorts of trouble, aren't they? West Ham are in all sorts of trouble. The manager, for me, is just getting it all dreadfully wrong over there. Arsenal look like they're back, like they're scoring goals for fun. I think that's 12 goals in their last 3 games. They've battered West Ham. They've battered Forest. They've battered Sporting. But it is what it is, right? And then you've got Brentford. They're scoring goals for fun. Only 1 goal behind Spurs. Vissa and Mbeumo, 16 league goals between them. So again, when people talk about Solanke, you think Vissa and Mbeumo have 8 league goals each. And we've bought a bloke for 60, 65 million who's managed 4. So you've got to weigh it up. Oh, Cam, look, how nice is that? See, there is peace and love in the world. We don't have to agree on everything, Cam. I'm going to say things that probably annoy you because of my opinion of Ange. But it's just football, man. It's just football. Big up to Rob. What the F is Ange Ball. Said, afternoon, Savva. Should be an interesting game today. Fulham are no mugs. Our inconsistency, anyone's game. Listen, I don't think Fulham are mugs. But again, look, Sonny is our captain. Brennan Johnson scoring a lot of goals. Timo Werner's who the club wanted to loan in. You know, the midfield 3 is strong. We've got both our fullbacks in there. I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't be winning this game. Bush Ranger, we won't get all 3 points today, unfortunately. Come on, Bush Ranger. Let's we're going to get 3 points today, people. Yeah, but Mahfouz, you can disagree with you like. The actual hold-up play stats for Solanke aren't very good. I keep reading that it's his hold-up. His hold-up play is not factually. Big up. Did I see my man Avi in the chat? Look at Avi and his guns. Look at Avi. Avi, look. That's me straining, by the way. Like, come on, get bigger. Avi, while you're young, I'm guessing you're young. I mean, if you're my age and you're in that shape, fair play to you. Go on, Rangers. Hit it. I always bet on Rangers and they always let me down. Siraj just said, the moment Ange said entertainment is more important, don't want him at the club. I do think a lot of that was tongue in cheek. I think, listen, I've had my pops at Ange, but I do think a lot of that was tongue in cheek. Let me know what you think about that. Ian has said, I think we'll lose today. Ian thinks we're going to lose today. We are so inconsistent. I can't predict this score. Look, Bella, I agree with this. Yeah, hold up play for 65. Yeah, I agree. But listen, we'll look, depending on who you are as a fan, we all write our own narratives, don't we? Let's be brutally honest, right? We all write our own narratives. If Spurs lose, it's, Solanke and Kulu didn't play. Right? If Spurs win, it's look how good our squad is. We didn't need Solanke and Kulu. And look, for me, when you look at our 11 still and then look at Fulham's 11, we should be winning this game. We should be winning this game. This is what squads are for. You've got to cope with players out. Right? You really, really do have to. Big up, AV, 32. What a great age. I've got a decade on you. Hang on. I'm just going to finish some teas. 1 second. Let's see if this one's still hot. I don't often drink hot drinks, but I took the dogs for a walk earlier, got 5 minutes down the road. Frank literally looked up at me. This is Frank, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know who Frank is. Frank literally looked up at me. He had like snot coming down his nose, and he was like, I'm going home. So we turned around, came home. That hence the hair. Look, he's got sort of rain hair going on. And I just needed some heat. I needed some tea. Guys, 1 hour till kickoff. 1 hour till kickoff. For anyone that's just joined, it's Fraser Forster in goal, Porro, Dragonsheen, Davis, Adogi, Saar, Basuma, and Madison, Werner, Son, and Johnson. So still a good enough team. A good enough team. Cam said, of course, Andrew's comments were tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, listen, I agree. I don't think he should do it, but I do see that it was tongue-in-cheek. That's only my humble opinion. I agree with this. I agree with both these comments. As I said, I agree. It was tongue-in-cheek, but I just think when you say those things, the press and the media will grab it and run with it. Look, Andrew's comments for me, I do think he makes strange comments all the time, but that one I didn't have an issue with because it was very much tongue-in-cheek. Yun has said Solanke hold-up players a myth. That brother. I'm not cool enough to say brother. Can't hold a cup of tea. I agree. I don't think his hold-up play is that good. I keep hearing that his hold-up play is good, but I keep seeing the ball dropping off, bouncing back off him. Big up to Seven, who's been a channel member for 15 months. 15 months, Seven, our relationship. Happy anniversary to us. Let's get this win. Yeah, listen, I'm confident. I'm confident we're going to get that win. And the funny thing is, all of you, there's 300 of you in here at the moment. Let's see what that's translated to in likes. 74 likes. That is rubbish, people. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. It would really help. We're on our way to 14,500. So we've got a month to get to 15,000. We're about 660 odd away from 15,000. That's all I want for Christmas. I'm just a guy standing in front of lots of YouTube viewers asking for more subscribe. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. If you'll subscribe if you want to subscribe, and you won't if you don't. Yeah, Angus. I'm watching them here. They should have scored by now. Rangers. They just lack for me a real clinical goal scorer, and they're not what they were. I completely agree with you. Big up Ash. How we doing, Ash? I've got your boys in my ACCA today. I don't ever put Spurs in my ACCA, but I have got Chelsea in my ACCA. I think that you guys are going to beat Aston Villa. Let's have a little look at some of the team news, shall we? Man United, Everton. Let's have a look. Man United, I've gone with, Onana in goal. Depending on how he wants to line up here. He's got a back three of Lissandro Martinez and Mazraoui. A midfield four of Diallo, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and Diallo. And then a front three of Rashford, Xerxes. Oh, I'm sorry, Kobe Mainu is in that midfield as well. Everton have gone with Pickford, Branthwaite, Mikalenko, Tarkowski and Young, Undai, McNeil, Lindstrom, Gay, Decore, and Beto. And then if we go to Chelsea v Aston Villa, Chelsea have gone with Sanchez in goal, a back four of Cucurella, Colwill, Fofana, and who's the other midfielder? Who's the other defender? I can't see another defender in there. Maybe they're going to play Lavia there. Fofana, Cucurella, and Colwill. And then they've got Caicedo, Fernandes, Neto, Palmer, Sancho, and Jackson. Aston Villa have gone with a back four of Martinez in goal, Cash right back, Digne left back, centre halves of Pau, Torres and Konza, midfield of Kamara, McGinn and Tielemans, with Watkins, Rogers and Philogene. So they're the teams for those games that are going on. We'll see. Let me know. Chelsea Villa, what do we think? Man United Everton, what do we think? Solanke's top 5 best strikers at what? He's not. Factually, he's not. Do you know what? We looked yesterday. There's 15 strikers that have scored more goals than him, and only one of them costs more money than him. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Listen, I keep saying this about Solanke. I don't mind him. I just don't think he's this great striker people think he is. He's had one good year in his career. One good year. Daniel Harris has said, can't predict this. Could be 4-1. Could be 1-2. Yeah, Spurs do make it very difficult to predict. That's Spurs. I said the usual Werner left, Johnson right, Son, through the middle. Jay Diller, so big up Savva and Frank. Go on, Frank. And Stewie. Let's not forget Stewie. I'm hoping for the win today. In terms of Solanke, it's 65 million English players tax. We was lucky to have Kane. We were very lucky to have Kane. As I said, all those years, Spurs don't sign players like Harry Kane. When we have a Harry Kane, it's because we've had to make him ourselves. And what I do think, though, is we've got to stop as a club talking about Harry Kane. He went a long time ago now, and he can't be the reason every time we don't win a game or don't score or whatever. And just spent a lot of money on forwards. When you look at, we've signed Timo Werner twice. We've signed Dominic Solanke. We've signed Valise. We've signed Brennan Johnson. We've signed Odegaard. We've signed Yang. He's signed a lot of forwards. Werner, he scores when he wants. Listen, he's going to have to. We're going to need some Werner goals today, aren't we? Big up, Mario. How we doing, man? Hope you are well. Michael Rogers said Solanke was sore after Thursday's game. Guess it was not one he could get over. Just see the. I'll get to that funny comment in a minute. Yeah, big up, Michael. Mum Spaghetti has said Brennan Johnson has done all right for such an average player. Shows that Ange isn't a bad manager. I think he scores goals. I think as a footballer, there's nothing about him I like. He scores goals. As an actual footballer, I don't think he does anything. He doesn't do anything for me as a footballer. But he scores goals. So listen, all the while he's ghosting in, grabbing a goal. Great. As soon as the ball goes out wide right, it's like playing with 10 men. Daniel has said, yeah, I've always assumed half of what Anne says is just him winding up journalists, but it's not really funny. That's the problem. I just wish we'd just keep it simple. You know, hey, it is what it is. Savva, you should be a hair model. Oh, I'm not sure about that. The Joe Hart of YouTube. The Joe Hart of YouTube. Look, no. Back in the day, my hair was a lot more fuller and thicker, but I'll take that tongue-in-cheek, just like Andrew's press conferences. 3-1 today. I've gone at home, but you just never know. You just never, ever know. Yeah, see, this is Angus. Do you know what? I know you're talking about Bukayo Saka here, right? And I think the key thing is, hang on, what's going on? Who's at my front door? Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Ah, right, okay, that's all right. Look, you're talking about Bukayo Saka. Again, this is why when people say things to me about Kulu and Son and players like that, I need to see them racking up the sort of digits that Bukayo Saka does before we start talking about best in the league. Kiri has said, we are going to get done over by Fulham, aren't we? Genuine. I don't think we are, Kiri. Am I the most positive one in my own chat room? There'll still be YouTubers after this game having a pop at me if we win. I'm sitting here saying I think we're going to win. Good afternoon, Lynn. How you doing? How you doing, Lynn? Hope you're well. Everton will park the bus against Man United, apparently. Yun has said Solanke's top 5 are holding the bench. Listen, I'll say what I've always said about Solanke. Any of you that watch me week in, week out have known I've said this since the summer. He's okay. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's shit. I just think he's okay. And I think there's a reason why, you know, he's 27 and he's had one good year in the Premier League. So is he playing Pedro for 5 consecutive games? This is what can cause long-term injury. Well, yeah, we didn't buy properly, did we? This is the problem. You know, all these people that were celebrating the summer transfer window, this is why when people are going, it's a youth project, we needed to buy. We needed to buy. Liston, so maybe he plays Werner as a knight. Yeah, let's see. Listen, what we do know is there's a lot of pace in that forward line. Johnson, Son, and Werner. There's a lot of pace. So let's see what the game plan is today. Oh, I mean, it was mad, wasn't it? Those fans saying we had a good transfer window. The same fans now going, oh my gosh, look at the team. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a good transfer window. Mark Lewis, 0 points for the next 3 games. I think we get 4 or 5 for the next 3 games. 4 definitely. I don't know why I'm called so negative. So it's you lot. You lot are negative, all right? And then I take the brunt of it, all right? Robert Wilson said we got to win today. Chelsea next weekend, and we all know what usually happens there. That should be a good game, shouldn't it? Tottenham and Chelsea, that should be a good game. And then we've got Bournemouth midweek, right, on Thursday. Clara said, my other half supports Liverpool. When we signed Dom, she laughed. I mean, Claire, look, I reckon if you go out and buy Dominic Solanke for 30 million, I think people go, okay, that's a decent signing. I think when you're doing it as a club record transfer, something like that, or one of our biggest 2 ever signings, I think you've got to turn around and go, I'm not sure. As I said, I don't mind. I think you'll get 14, 15 league goals, but for me, just not a lot. Chalks has said, I know Kane has gone, but can you imagine how many goals he would get in this team? Sure, but again, if he was playing in this team, you wouldn't see Maddison and Kulu operating in the way they do. So, swings and roundabouts. Johnson is just an athlete. Jimmy Two Toes isn't happy about the lineup. Nige has said 3 big league games in a week. Ange has to mix and match a bit. So understand Solanke and Decky. Listen, Nige, absolutely. Look, Kulusevski is the one. He never comes off either, does he? Like, constantly never comes off. And for me, I think you know, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to admit to yourself, oh, hang on, what's going on here? What's going on here? There we go. That he's going to get burnout. You can't keep playing. Some players can. I don't think Kulu looks like a guy that can. And for me, I think he's been overplayed. Mo thinks we're going to lose 3. We're not going to lose 3-0, are we? No. Finn has said to Angus, I think Calafiori is a good player. I don't think he's a fullback. He's an out-and-out defender. Proper Italian. Arsenal slowly but surely starting to rack some good wins together, aren't they? As I say, it's all about consistency. Tobago has said he doesn't trust Spence to play right back. Porro needs some rest. Yeah, maybe he does. I think Porro, for me, has started to look a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not been bad. I just think his passing looks tired. Do you know what I mean? I feel like some of his passing looks a bit sloppy at the moment, etc., etc. Hang on 1 second. Man. Hang on. So I'm just going to send the link to Stel quickly. Hang on. How do I do this? Here we go. Really, really quickly. This is how quickly I can see if I can get Stel on. StreamYard, live, invite guests, copy, WhatsApp, Stel. Do you know what? Someone sent me a message last week going, oh, have you seen what Stel's been saying about you? And then I looked in somebody else's chat and they said, oh, my God, have you seen what Savva's been saying about Stel? Some people in this community, man. I love the way you're trying to drive wedges between people, but it is what it is. Barbaric Disdain. My favourite name, I think that. Barbaric Disdain. So Savva is the problem with his fan base. Yes. Being positive on his own show. No positivity allowed. No positivity allowed. Where are we? Terry O'Shea. Terry, how we doing, man? So, yeah, you're overly positive. You know the deal deep down. We haven't won off the last 5 Europa League games, if I'm correct. And we have nothing on the bench. Look, I hear you. I just feel we've got to stop this rot. Savva, you are the negative one. You spread rumours about Ange. Do I? Sorry. Last time I checked, I don't actually work for the media or any newspapers. I spread rumours about Ange falling out with players. Do me a favour, Ronaldo, send me the link to me starting this rumour. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Sorry, guys, my fault. It was my fault that those... where's my favourite? There she is, Queen Ellie in the house. I look like Elias Kotias. Who is that? Let's have a look at who this is. Elias Kotias. Right. I don't look anything like Elias Kotias. What are you talking about? Elias Kotias is a Canadian actor. I was in Chicago. I don't look anything like him. Cheeky. Ellie, that is cheeky of you. You Greek people. And before anyone has a go, I'm allowed to say that. I'm Greek. I'm allowed to say it. You watch video made about me tomorrow. Savva hates Greeks. the name Savva should give it away. Oh, this is funny this morning. Guys, everyone else, feel free. Let me know in the chat what else I'm at fault for. What else am I at fault for? Tony has said, Ange Postecoglou has explained that Dominic Solanke will miss today's clash with Fulham through illness. There you go. There you go. Queen Ellie, I'm positive too. I feel it's payback time. Vida Kostures. Talking about the face of negativity. Here's another one. There we go. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. How you doing, Savva? You all right? How's everyone in the chat doing? Everyone good?
I think everyone's. I feel like there's a bit of a. I know, Bella. I know it was my fault. Apparently, I started the rumor still that Ange had fallen out of his own players. It was all down to me. It's me. I run the media. Stel, it feels like a lot of people in the chat seem really divided on should this be a comfortable win versus. Hang on, we're coming off the back of a European game. Where do you sit with this?
Yeah, well, I put it on the socials last night, and I've just put my my thoughts on my channel just now because I've seen the starting lineup. We're either going to smash them 4-0 or we're going to lose 2-1, right? So, good luck predicting it. I'm done predicting. The only thing I predicted this year was the 4-1 win against West Ham. Everything else, I've either been close or wildly wrong. I said we'd probably lose to United 2-1. We beat them 3-0. I said we'll go to Brighton and get a narrow 1-0 win. We lost by 1 goal. I said we'll destroy Palace. They battered us. I said we'll struggle against Villa. We destroyed them. Savva, I think any Spurs fan that's honest, you wouldn't bet on Spurs, would you? If you're a betting man, you wouldn't bet on Spurs. Or you'd bet everything on Spurs because if you get it right, you're going to make millions because the odds would be so ridiculously swung in your favour. So
I've made a point of it, Stel. I listen, you know me. I like an acca. I like an acca every weekend to do a couple, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. I never put Spurs. Spurs could be at home to Bromley in the FA Cup. I'm not putting Spurs in my acca. I never know what I'm going to get. However, I do feel that forget who the manager is, forget who the players are. Fulham at home shouldn't be a game where we're going, oh, I'm worried. I'm not being arrogant, but these are games you've got to win. We failed to beat Ipswich at home. We failed to beat Roma at home. I can't see any way in that we go 3 home games without a win. That I feel like we're going to win today.
I think we are going to win, but if we lose, I won't be shocked. I just there's mate. At home, we tend to be good. 9 times out of 10, we're good this season. Only Ipswich was the blip. And Arsenal, it was a close game. We just lost by a goal. But in general, we've been good at home this season. Really good at times. But you look at that midweek game, you're like, hold on a minute. This has been our argument the whole season, the inconsistency. Plus, a few players looked quite tired towards the end of that game. Fulham have had a whole week to relax. But if Fulham come for us and the space opens up behind, Johnson and Werner have got the pace to get in. Sonny can score, and he's the striker today. So you can see a way how Spurs batter Fulham, but you can also see a way how this can go badly wrong. And that's the issue that's the issue we've got. I don't even want to question the starting lineup because I came on your show when we played Man City and I said the fact he's gone with Kulu and the fact he's gone with Son says to me we're not going to play counter-attacking football because otherwise he would have put Johnson and Werner on the pitch who are quick. And we played counter-attacking football. So I don't even want to second guess what they're going to do today, Savva, because it's pointless. No one can say what Spurs are going to do today.
Look, there's lots of people that when that team came out, I looked at that team and went, well, that's more than strong enough to beat Fulham. And for me, it is. A lot of people really worried, but still, this is what always makes me laugh about this community, this fan base. I'm not talking about YouTubers. I'm just talking about Spurs fans in general before anyone starts spreading rumours that I've been talking about YouTubers. We all said in the summer, or lots of us said in the summer, don't rate that transfer window. We didn't buy a backup left back. We didn't buy centre halves. We didn't buy a goalkeeper. We didn't buy as number 6. Then when we have 3 or 4 injuries, we all go, I can't believe how bad the team is. But I'm not saying it is bad, but we knew with injuries, this is what we're going to see, right? We shouldn't be surprised, should we?
No, but see, this is the issue we've got at the club. This has been the issue at the club for years. We say one thing, then as soon as the opposite happens, we backtrack. So the two biggest kind of flip-flopping events that have happened this season is in the summer, good window. It's not about who we sign; it's whether they fit the system. These players fit Ange's system, Project Youth, yada yada yada. As soon as it goes wrong, Ange wasn't backed. But that's the complete opposite of what you said in the summer. We've signed 16 players since Ange came here. How has he not been backed? And if he hasn't been backed, then why aren't you Levy out in the summer? Where most fans weren't. They were like, yo, it's going in the right direction, blah, blah, blah. And the second flip-flop is Ange had a go at the fans who wanted us to lose against Man City because we didn't want Arsenal to win the league. Some wanted us to win because they wanted top 4. Fine.
Yeah.
It was that one game in 20 years where it split us as a fan base. And you can see why both fans would want to lose that game and win it. But he had a go at the fans for not wanting to win it. He had a go at the staff. Why would you want to lose this? But yet, a year later, I'm here to entertain. Entertainment ahead of results. But you had a go at us last season when we didn't want the result. Now you're telling us to result, we entertain. So he flip flops, the fans flip flop. I just
don't you think a lot of what he says though is like, listen, I've had my issues with Ange and stuff, but I do feel that the whole kind of entertainment thing, I feel like he's having a kind of his own reality TV show with the journalists. Now, as a fan, I don't want to hear that. As a fan, I want him to come out and say, well, look, no, we've got to tighten up, or we've got to stop letting in late goals. But instead of telling the fans what we want to hear, he's actually having these little mind games with journalists. And I get it. It's tongue in cheek. But I want to hear when we lose games and when we let in late goals like last week, I want to hear what he's going to do to fix it. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. He might be having mind games, but then when we lose, he's one of the most miserable, bitter managers in the league that doesn't want to speak at all. But hold on, that was on you. Like, it can't be when we win and when things are okay. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's have a few mind games. Let's say the kinds of things that fans want to hear. But then when we lose, you stink in the interviews. Because the reality hits. I just think, Savva, that word we've been using for the past 2 months, we just need some consistency so that we as fans calm down, the media calms down, and maybe we could say, do you know what? Can we now say we're actually going in the right direction and there's evidence to back it up now? There's actually some proof to back it up. Because if we don't win today, in fact, the next 3 games, if we don't win at least 2, it's This is why we've been saying all the things we've been saying every week. But yeah, to answer your question, there's probably a little bit of mind games in there. Yeah. But, when he says that, people will latch onto it as well. So he's got to think.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, look, Queen Ellie has said, even after she said that I look like someone I don't look anything like, but Ellie is right. Please smash the like button. There's 457 of you in this chat. There's 145 likes. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. As I said, we're chasing down 15K. I might be being a little bit optimistic to get there by 2025, but hey, we're 650 away. So if you haven't subscribed, please, would one of my mods be so kind to put the link in the chat? That would be amazing. Yeah, listen. So I always feel that genuine critique kind of gets misunderstood for negativity. All I want to do is I want to see, right, beat Fulham today. Now we've got 2 league wins on the bounce. Go and beat Bournemouth. You've now got 3 on the bounce. And do you know what? Do you know what it does, Stel? It makes people like me and you, because we'll always be lumped in together, go, okay, yeah, okay, right, that's going like that. Not that, but we're slowly but surely, we're putting 3-4 wins together. The problem is the win-lose scenario tells you that we're up for it sometimes. We're not up for it other times. And That, for me, is the biggest issue. After 18 months with this manager, I don't think we should be this inconsistent. That's my only issue. Doesn't have to be a great big Ange in, Ange out debate every week.
The fact that we've spent £300 million, we've cleared out a lot of the so-called deadwood. The manager's now 15, 16, 17 months into the job. These facts, and we are going into a game against Fulham saying we're not sure if we win. That is a problem, okay? You look at Brighton, their manager, they're doing well this season with less resources, less income, and less time, and they are doing really well. I don't think Brighton go into every game thinking, this is going to be difficult, this is going to be tricky. I think they're going there thinking, I fancy us today. I think we can do something. You look at Bournemouth, you look at, I'm trying to think, Chelsea, clubs where a manager's only been there for 3-4 months. There's a confidence there. Our manager's been here for a year and a half and we're not confident. Why? What, are we going to blame Levy? We're going to blame the players. We're going to blame the spending. We're going to blame the new stadium. We're going to blame the sponsors. At some point, as fans, we just got to be a little bit real and say it's okay to question the manager and say that this is not okay because you've been given the money and the time to show us a bit better than win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. At least win, 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 lose. Win, 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 win. Lose, draw.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got every right to ask that, every right to demand it. If we're a big club, if we're a big club, we should demand that. If we're not a big club, then fine. Win, lose, win, lose. Fulham are our rivals. Bournemouth are our rivals now. These clubs are our new rivals because City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool's that lot, they demand a different level of outcome from their manager and their club. So I don't understand why people are bothered by us when we criticise or we challenge the reality of win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. So yeah, Savva, win today, beat Bournemouth, and then I can't really argue anymore, can I? I don't have a case to put forward because
Agreed.
facts have shut me down.
No, absolutely. And I do think it's got a bit, you know, look, I get it, right? Look, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And I don't think any fan should have the monopoly on what other fans think. That's absolutely fine. But for me, as I've said, I'm so long in the tooth now. I'm not just saying me, by the way. You know, people like you, others in the chat. I'm so long in the tooth now with Spurs that when people tell me, just get behind the manager, just get behind the players. You know, I had somebody put in my YouTube this morning, Stel, that I'm not a proper fan because before the City game, I said, I'd give my right arm for a draw. You're not backing the team. So I messaged them back and said, so by that metric, that means if I don't predict a win for 38 games a season, if I don't say Spurs are going to win all 38 games, I'm not a real fan. And I don't understand that logic from an adult perspective. Every single football fan across the country, if they predicted their team to win 38 games a season, every single football fan is wrong. Like, you know, it's just madness.
Yeah, but you know, this is the tragedy of what's happened. And Ange is just, he's got everyone wrapped around his little finger. When we had Pochettino and that Poch team, Savva, every week I predicted a win. Every week I said, we're going to beat United. We're going to beat Brighton. We're going to beat City. We're going to beat Arsenal. I predicted us to win pretty much every week because I believed in Kane, Son, Dele, Ericsson, Wanyama, Dembele, Vertonghen, Danny Rose. I believed in that team. I looked at it and I thought, mate, who can't we beat? But I look at this team. I see Ben Davies. I see an inconsistent Dragusin. I see a Basuma. I don't know what I'm going to get. I see Johnson and Werner, and I don't know what I'm going to get. I see Fraser Forster in goal. How on earth can I confidently sit here and say, believe? Just believe in the team. How? This team is not nowhere near as good as what Poch had. Maybe Andrew will prove me wrong, and in 2 years' time, this team will be dynamite. Okay, well then I'll address that when it comes. But you got to be realistic, man. Like, how can you predict to win every week with this current? Look at the bench. today, right? Look at that bench. Other than Kulu, what have we really got? Realistically, what have we really got on that bench today?
Yeah, no, look, listen, I agree with you. Well, look, let's talk about that, right? Kulusevski not playing. I get it still, right? I get it. I think this man is starting. Listen, very good footballer, starting to look leggy to me.
Yeah.
I thought Thursday night again. Look, he's got quality in his feet, so he's always going to do some nice things. But I thought his overall game, I think the Man City game took a lot out of him. I think you can start to see though in the weeks gone by some sloppy passing, some miscontrol. Has he been completely overplayed, Kulusevski? And is that why we're not seeing him today? Because the man needs a rest.
Yeah, 100%. But this is what we said last season. We said, can we go and have a good transfer window in the summer and improve the first team so that we've got better players that start, and the good players that are currently starting, they can now become the bench, and then the bench that isn't good, sell it. So ideally, we haven't got a very good bench, sell them. Players that are good in the first team, put them on the bench. Now the bench looks good, and replace the players you've taken out of the first team and put them on the bench with some really good signings. We didn't do that. We didn't do any of that. And we were saying, you've got to do that because next season, we're not just playing one game a week. We're playing 2 or 3. Where's the squad for these number of games that can compete at the level? If we get a few injuries or suspensions, then what? Well, guess what? We've now got some injuries. There's an illness. Apparently, Solanke's not well today. So you're now looking at the squad that we haven't built, and it looks pretty weak. That bench is not... Listen, I agree with you. I think the Dogie needs a rest, Savva. I think the Dogie's run into the ground. Yeah. He's another one. He's not been playing well. Porro, yeah, Porro.
Yeah, look, I completely agree with you. I mean, like, again, when you say this about players, though, I don't want it to come off that I think they're bad players. When I watch Porro lately, when I watch Kulu, I'm not saying they don't give everything for the team, but you can see Porro, again, a lot of sloppy passing out of the back, giving the ball away, putting us back into under pressure. And when you're talking about a youth project, when we do that, that's great. But the problem is you're then saying basically to the first 11, none of you can get injured or suspended all season, because the moment you do, that's already made excuse. Bring in those young players. Fine. Do everything you did in the summer. Bring in Gray, Bergvall, Yang and Odegaard. In front of them, bring in 3 or 4 first team players. Bring in, I'm just going to spitball here. Bring in Tosin Adarabioyo as a centre half on a free. Bring in Locatelli in midfield. Do you know what I mean? Bring in another wide player who's a senior pro. If we did that, suddenly when we get these injuries, we're not looking around and going, oh my God, he's playing. That's why I don't really have any sympathy or empathy, because this is what everyone celebrated. They wanted this youth project. And unfortunately, this is, by the way, when these first team players are out, the youth players aren't even getting a run out. You look how many injuries and suspensions we got today, Stel. Who's coming into the team? It's not the Lancashires. It's not the Archie Grays. It's not the Dorringtons, is it? It's the Werners. You know what I mean? It's the Werners. It's the Ben Davis. It's the Forsters. So all of this that, we're going to blend them in. We're going to get these youngsters some game time. It's not the case, is it? It's literally, these are my senior pros. These are the only ones that play.
Yeah, exactly, Savva. I totally agree with it all. I've not believed there's any kind of project youth. I don't believe that there's any kind of belief in the youngsters that we've got. Otherwise, again, Archie Gray doesn't start in the 6 today. If he's that good, this is a project, then why isn't he playing in that position? What team are you going to play him in that position against then? Because you're not going to do it with Chelsea. You're not going to do it at Bournemouth away. When are you going to do it? Fulham at home, is that not an opportunity for it? Maybe. If you really believe in the project, then you give it a go, which clearly we don't. Bergvall, I don't understand why he's at the club. The guy hardly plays. He gets hardly any minutes. Lancashire, well, today you got 2 strikers out, Richarlison and
Solanke.
Yeah,
and he still doesn't get a game. Yeah, our third choice striker is not getting a game above Timo Werner.
right? So, I'll be honest. I'm glad Son is the striker today because I think he's more clinical than Solanke and anyone else we've got. So I'd rather Son's up front, if I'm really honest. But that's just personal opinion. But if Lancashire's a third choice striker, why isn't he striker today? Clearly, this youth project is somewhat of a myth. I don't buy into it. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about the youth at the moment. I'd like to see them given a proper chance. I'd like to see them given a proper crack. But I just, that's down to the manager. The manager's got to make that call. They're in the squad, but they're not getting the minutes. I'm sure with 10 minutes to go, Bergvall will come on. Maybe Archie Gray comes on if we're winning. If we're getting battered, maybe he just gives them a run out just because the game's done. Who knows? It all depends which way the game goes. But really, I think they only come on if there's real fatigue in any player's legs or if we've got injuries today. Then that's the only way I don't see a tactical change where the manager says, tactically, I'll bring on Gray. Tactically, I'll bring on Lancashire. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Stel, can I be a pain? My front door's gone. Can you cover for me for like 5 minutes, 2 minutes?
Yeah, go for it.
You're used to this YouTube thing, right? You know what you're doing. You're right, yeah.
I've had it. I've been on it once or twice. So
there you go. Cheers, mate. Cheers.
I'll just read some comments, but I can't put your comments up on the screen. Finn says it was never a youth project. Fans called that to make themselves feel better for a shit transfer window. Finn, I agree with you there. We do like to put labels on things to mask the reality of what's going on. Maybe these youngsters get more minutes next season. Who knows? But then wouldn't you rather see us have a really good summer window and bring some experienced players into the club? I mean, I would. Peter says it's time to play youth. The time to play the youth is the cup games. We kind of have done that. But the problem is the cup games, we've only played weaker teams like in Europe. So are they really going to get experience playing against lesser opposition? I'm not too sure. Spurs CC says there's no youth project. The project was to lower the wage bill. Do you know what? That's so true. We have definitely lowered the wage bill. And a lot of fans think we've done that to potentially sell on the club. But yeah, it's true. The wage bill has gone down. I've just been reading some comments and going through the comments.
No, appreciate it. This is the problem when YouTubing from home, right? It's normally a parcel or an Amazon parcel or something, but that one wasn't. I love this. Big up, Cam. We're going to be friends now, Cam. I know we've had our differences. We're going to be friends. When we're saying Savva's not even close to being the most negative person, I tell you what I always find hilarious about this is every year I'm not far off there or thereabouts come the end of the season. And I think the word negative comes each week, depending on whether my prediction that week was right. But last season, when I predicted 5th and we finished 5th, was that negative or was that, I don't know, the word I would have used probably growing up at school would have been accurate.
The people that use the word negative use it because they can't articulate their argument in a constructive way to have positive debate. So their lack of positive debate just makes them use the word negative to mask their failures of having that conversation. And I've seen it across all social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up, Chris. One of my favourites has said, there's no youth project. The project was to lower the wage bill, so we bought kids. Fans have deluded themselves. That was about long-term success and not about short-term finances. Chris, spot on. We knew that. But by the way, I do think in all of this conversation, I do think we're going to win today. So I want to look at the team. For me, that midfield three again, that's the midfield three that we saw against Man City, isn't it? With Basuma and Sarr, Maddison. Now, would you say that again? That's a very strong midfield three, as long as we don't invert Porro and Udogie, because the moment you invert Porro and Udogie, you start getting bodies all on top of James Maddison again. Would you say that's a good midfield three on paper?
Yeah, I'm sure that was the midfield three when we went on that 10-game winning streak at the start of Angie's reign. It was Sarr, Basuma and Maddison that he was with. Because Bentancur was injured then. Kulu wasn't playing as the 10. Højbjerg and Skip weren't really in the team. I think, yeah, that's when we went on that good run, that was the midfield three. So then the only thing is with that midfield three, you don't know what Basuma you're going to get. If you get the good Basuma, it works. If you get that kind of what's happened to Basuma player, then it begins to wobble a bit. But yeah, I think that's a good midfield three for Spurs. It definitely works. And yeah, the fullbacks can't invert because otherwise Basuma and Sarr get caught out of shape and out of position, and they're having to cover space that they're not supposed to, and that's when the gaps open up. So yeah, but we've said all season, Savva, we're like you and I. And again, it's opinions. We're not fans of the inverted fullback. I don't mind once in a while. Like we saw for, the third goal at City where Porro made a run, inverted inwards, and when the ball was squared back to him, he scored. I don't mind that. But what I don't like is when we invert the fullbacks to squeeze the game up high, and then there's no space for us to operate, and then the likes of Maddison just don't know where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I mean, Lynn, I see this all the time when we say Maddison is our weak link. Maddison's got the most GA at the football club this year. Is he truly the weak link? I mean, listen, I don't think there's one weak link. If we're going to do this as a football team, I don't think there's one player you look at and go, it's all on him. For me, I think, again, apologies, Stel probably heard me say this 1,000 million times. Again, when you have results that are so like this, Lynn, it's not down to one player. That's all the players. They're inconsistent. Sometimes good, sometimes shit. That's maybe our players.
The only thing I'll say to back up Lynn a little bit, right? I don't agree with you, Lynn, but I will back you up a little bit. Is I don't know if Maddison has shown us he's got the legs to play 90 minutes this season, because he does tend to come off after 60, 70. I don't know whether that's tactical, whether that's Ange. But there are some questions saying, look, does this guy have the legs for 90 minutes? So that would be the only thing maybe, Lynn, I would say is a weak link. But otherwise, listen, Maddison, he creates, he scores goals. He's our best number 10, you know.
And the thing is as well, though, when we look at this, right, is Maddison wasn't bought for, like, this style of play by Ange that has everybody running around like headless chickens. That's great. But there are some people that naturally aren't built for that game. They're not built for that game. And James Maddison's not been a player throughout his career that you go on, just keep running. You know, have the best running stats in the game. This is the guy that when you get the ball in the opposition half, you go, right, where's our outlet? Where's our creative force? He's our Ericsson of 2024, if you will. Listen, Vince, I tell you what, I love that. Yeah, don't buy a fork and complain it won't slice bread. I like that. Look, I completely agree. Look, all I'll say is, Lynn, couldn't we label that at everyone? We could say that Kulu over the last 3 years, is he consistent? I would argue not. Is Sonny consistent every week? No. Is Solanke? No. Sarr, Basuma, Bentancur? Can we really say that any of those players we go, he is brilliant week in, week out? And that's why we're always where we are. And that's why we've not competed for trophies. The better players, let's call it for what it is. Liverpool and City have majority won everything in the last sort of 5, 6, 7 years. Because the players they have are the next caliber up and they're consistent. Top players are consistent, right, Stel? That's why they cost more. That's why they demand bigger wages. That's why they bring success.
Yeah. They turn up for the big games always. And they're the difference makers. Do you know what the thing with Maddison, Savva, is I find it weird how, as a fan base, he does get quite a bit of criticism, but yet Johnson, who does nothing for 89 minutes on the pitch, and I mean he does absolutely nothing, but because he pops up with a goal, he's done his job. But yet Maddison, who's got the highest GA in the club, why doesn't he get treated that same way? Why is it one player who does far less than what Maddison offers us, because he scores goals? Well, there you go. He's giving you the 1 minute of goodness. So therefore he's exempt. Well, Maddison does that as well. Why isn't he exempt? Why don't we treat them both the same way by the same logic? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the players today, again, my opinion has never ever changed of Brennan Johnson. Can he score goals? Yep, I'm not doubting he can't ghost in and score goals. Would I cross the road to watch him in the park over the road with a ball? No, I wouldn't. Still, my uncle always used to say to me, Would you open the blinds to watch that player? That's how we always used to say if a player was good. No. Would I open the blinds to watch James Maddison create? Yes, I would. Would I open the blinds to watch Kulu? Yeah. Johnson for me is effective at what he does. Doesn't mean I have to go, what a footballer. And again, fans, sometimes there are players that offer goals, right? But their all-round game isn't great. Fine. Offer goals. Doesn't mean I have to like watching him. Again, a game like today, I want to see Brennan Johnson push, who's their left back? Anthony Robinson, right? The US
player.
Left back. He is. Push him back. Push him back. You know what I mean? Take him on. Beat him. Beat him every now and then. But unfortunately, I just don't think that's his game. Looking at Brennan Johnson this year in the league, he's got five goals, right? But again, for a guy that's playing out wide on the right, he hasn't got one assist in 12 Premier League games. So that tells you, yes, he's very good at ghosting and scoring, but when he's not scoring, Stel, he's offering absolutely nothing. Now let's look at James Maddison.
He can't cross, he can't dribble, he can't create. That's Johnson.
And then when you look at James Maddison's played 300 minutes less than Brennan Johnson, by the way, and has got 5 goals and 3 assists. He's got 8 goal contributions in less minutes than most of the others.
He's outdoing Johnson. He's outdoing him.
Okay, of course he is. He's a much better footballer, but I do feel that we always go at the wrong players. For me, I feel like I've always said it. If you stick Maddison in a traditional 4-2-3-1 where you have a playmaker and you don't say to him get back, run around, kick people, he's a brilliant footballer. If you want him in midfield, Stel, kicking people, tracking back, I mean that's not his game. People say he's weak. Well, you know, look at him. There's not a lot to him.
Why can't we just play Maddison the way we played Eriksen? Just be an attacking mid. Just be the attacking mid, man. You know, just pull the strings, make it happen. That's all. It's like what you've said in the past. Why do we complicate simple things? Why do we need to reinvent the wheel? The wheel works. The wheel is a wonderful invention. Why do we need to change it? There's no need.
I agree. Everything doesn't need to be reinvented. And so I was just I'm already getting the WhatsApps with the excuses. Oh, well, no Solanke, no Kulu. And you're like, hang on. If beating Fulham at home is about missing Kulu and Solanke, then people need to stop talking to me about we want Champions League football next year.
Well, we're not missing Kulu. The manager's chosen to start him on the bench. That's a managerial decision. He's still available to play. And 2, who cares if Solanke's missing? Heung-min Son was our top goal scorer last season. Heung-min Son is more than capable of scoring goals. Can he press the way Solanke can? Maybe not, because just like I said, does Maddison have the legs for this kind of football? Son clearly doesn't have the legs either. You know, let's be fair. So, but I mean, is this really a problem, guys? There's no Solanke, but we've got Son. That is a decent option instead of Solanke. Imagine a club like if Sporting Lisbon lose Gyökeres, who is their number 2? I don't think they've got anyone that can come in and do what Gyökeres does. Yeah. You know, if Arsenal don't even have a striker. Okay, they play a different type of football.
Yeah.
But the point is, we've actually got a good option for that role if Solanke's not well. So I don't think it's an excuse to use Solanke not being here today as an excuse. I don't think.
Of course, yeah. I mean, yesterday watching Arsenal, I mean, they don't play with an out-and-out centre forward. Kai Havertz, who gets a lot of stick, has scored a lot of goals last season. He's got more goals this season already than Solanke, and we're still saying he's shit. But yet we're all going, oh, well, without Solanke has scored in 3. If I'm not wrong, Solanke scored in 3 Premier League games to date, if I'm not wrong. I think he got a brace v Villa. I think he got 1 v Man United and 1 v Brentford. Somebody in the chat will tell me if I'm wrong. I can't remember him scoring in any other game in the league. Anyone?
Yeah, in the league, I think he's scored 4 or 5. I think 4.
He's got 4. He's got 4 league goals. He got 2 v Villa. He definitely got a 1v Brentford, and I think he got one.
How many Son scored in? How many Sonny scored in the league?
Let's have a look. Where are we? Sonny scored 3, but has got 4 assists.
Right. So Sonny scored 3 playing as a winger, as a wide man. Right. So Solanke, Son, what's the difference in terms of goal return? One who gets to play in the striker role. So, Johnson scored more than Solanke.
Yeah.
Johnson's fine today.
Maddison scored more than Solanke.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think we're looking for excuses. And by the way, we're not playing Arsenal or Liverpool, guys. We're playing Fulham. We're playing Fulham.
And did you see who beat them last week, Stel?
Fulham. No, I can't remember.
At their own ground, Wolves went away.
Wolves 4-1. Yeah.
Went and beat them 4-1. That's what I'm saying. There's no excuse today. I'm not buying into this. Oh, but Solanke didn't play and Kulu was on a. I'm sorry. You got Porro, Adogi, Sarr, Basuma, Maddison, Son, Johnson. There's enough there to go and get this win today. So I'm not going to be having any of these excuses.
There's only really 3 or 4 players at Fulham that would concern me today. I think Jimenez is a really good striker. I think Jimenez is more than capable of causing us problems. I think Emil Smith-Rowe is a rejuvenated player at Fulham. He's showing us the player that first burst onto the scene at Arsenal. I quite like if he comes off the bench and Spurs are looking tired, Adama Traore could cause us a lot of problems, although his end product isn't great. But in terms of energy and pace that can come off the bench, Adama Traore with 20 minutes to go could cause us havoc. And I also quite like, is it Lukovic?
Yeah, Lukic, Sasa Lukic.
I quite like him as well. I think he's a capable player. So, I'm not too worried about most of Fulham's teams. There's 3 or 4 players I think concern me if they get going. But I think we've got more players that they're worried about than what we're worried about them. And we're at home. And we're at home.
Sure. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, listen. I completely agree. What we can't do is, we can't be an army of fans that go, you know what? We're going to win today 4-0. Then when we don't beat Fulham, people go, yeah, but we had a few out. Well, hang on. Your score prediction before the game was that we were going to batter them.
Look, Ange wasn't backed. Be patient.
Yeah. As I said, listen, let's ask everyone in the chat. There's 10 minutes until kickoff. I'm going to start. I'll go over to Stel afterwards, and then let me know in the chat, everybody. I'm going to go with 3-1 to Spurs. This is a Wolves team that just got battered 4-1 at home. For me, there's no excuses at all. Werner is the guy we went and bought again and paid him 165 grand a week. So if he's coming into the team, Ange and the scouts and everyone decided that that's the guy. Kulu not playing. I'm sorry, Kulu not playing isn't the difference between beating Fulham or not. If it is, then we're nowhere near Champions League football. I don't know if anyone thinks that's fair. 3-1 Spurs. Stel, what we saying?
Savva, I haven't got a clue, I actually haven't got a clue. If I give you a prediction, it's just for the sake of giving you one. I don't know. I don't know anymore. My part of me feels like, do you know what? We're going to come out the blocks and put them to bed early and we're going to go 2-3-0 up and then it'll end up 4-1, 3-1. Another part of me thinks we're going to be tired, jaded, and it's going to be a tough game in the rain. A Spurs player goes off injured and then we're going to have to be forced into a sub and Fulham somehow nick it. Another part of me thinks, do you know what? We don't really draw games. We'll probably draw another one seeing as we drew to Roma. I genuinely cannot predict it. If I had to go with a result, and again, I'm not confident with this, I'd say 2-1 Spurs. 2-1 Spurs. But I'm not confident with it. I'll go 2-1 Spurs.
I just never know. Listen, I think Scott's gone. Son in the middle is an upgrade over Solanke. Look, if they're through on goal, who am I putting my money on? Son or Solanke? I think we all know the answers to that question, right? I'm putting my money on Son. Different types of player. I keep hearing about the link-up play and the hold-up play. But again, if you actually look at it, Solanke's link-up play and hold-up play hasn't actually been that good factually. I know people want to go, but I see it. But I see the ball bouncing off him a lot. A lot. So listen, if you haven't got your big centre forward, you play a different way still, don't you? If you don't, you go a little bit more on the transition with the pace. Surely that's the obvious thing to do, isn't it? You give it to Maddison and you say to the other three, run off him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it also depends how Fulham set up, because if they don't give us that space in behind to run into, then Son is pretty much nullified, isn't he? Son needs that space to run into and go one-on-one. I've got a feeling, right? I've got a feeling Fulham are going to go for it today. You know that, Savva? Do you know that Roma game that was end-to-end stuff?
Yeah. I think you're going to see that.
I've got a feeling we're going to have another Roma-type game where they're going to come at us, we're going to go at them, we're going to... And then it's just a straight shootout. It's a shootout. It's going to either end... It could be anything then. I don't think it's going to be Fulham low block, sit there, defend, absorb pressure, try and counter us. I don't think Spurs are going to be low block, sit deep, and try and counter a team like Fulham. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think this is going to be quite an open game. I've got that feeling, especially with the rain and the conditions just making players tired. And you know, it's like when you play football and your t-shirt's wet, your boots are wet.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a Roma part 2. Roma part 2.
Yeah, Lynn, when we're saying Fulham has the advantage, they should be fresher. I mean, I never go with this, if I'm going to be brutally honest, because teams like Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Man United, they've dealt with this for years. Those clubs, Europa Leagues, Champions League titles, you know, they've done. Do you see what I mean? Still, they've done this year in, year out. That's what teams do that get into Europe. You have to play. You're going to play teams that haven't been playing in midweek, but more than anything, the quality should shine through. That's the point. We're at home.
Yeah.
And if I sat here right now and said to everyone, right, I hate doing this, but how many of these Fulham players get in the Spurs 11? Most Spurs fans will go, none of them get in our team, not one of them. So there should be no reason why we don't win this today. But I make you right, Stel. I do. I think this is going to be end to end. I do. I think this is going to be very much. You could see what they're going to do with the pace they've got in the likes of Iwobi. I think a player to watch out for is definitely Emil Smith-Rowe. I think he's a really good footballer.
Yeah, I like him. I've always liked him.
Obviously really difficult to get game time at Arsenal. But I think when I've watched him play for Fulham, you can see he's a good footballer. Jimenez, very hit and miss. Sometimes I watch Jimenez and he looks great. Other times he looks like he's not so... I don't know. I really don't know.
Savva, can you bring up this comment from Wolves F1? I just want to address it politely. No arguing or nothing at 1:25. 1:25 p.m. It's 5 up from that. Yeah. So you've already put this on Savva's channel previously, and you're doing it again. You're trying to make a drama in the chat in front of audience members. Why on earth are you banned? I sent a screenshot to Savva, who's forwarded it on to you, showing you something that you said about me. You haven't replied to it. You haven't commented on it. I don't ban people for nothing, right? You've been sent the evidence of what you said and what you did. It's for you to then reply to that privately, Wolves F1 privately, not make it all public. And then if it can be resolved, I'm happy to unban you. But doing this, it's not helping you, mate. So that's it. I've got nothing else to say in it. I've got nothing else to say.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Wolves F1. Right, or Wolves Finland, I think it actually is. But Wolves Finland, email me. Listen, I have seen the comment you made about Stel's channel. So, look, at the end of the day, if people are going to say things, you've got to remember that all these comments, whether they're in my chat, Stel's chat, Sean's chat, Henry's, whoever's chat, everyone sees them. So there are lots of people that come into my chat going, oh, Savva, love you, blah, blah, blah. And then I see screenshots of you going, oh, that Savva's a right negative wanker. You're like, hang on. I see it. So, look, message me. And I'm sure, look, Stel's a reasonable guy. He will, have the chat with him, but message me. Anyway, look, the players are in the tunnel about to come out. Stel, it's up to you if you want to stay with me for the game or if you want to drop off or whatever you want to do.
I need to go because I need to go and find a link for the game. If I can find a link, I'll come back.
Mate, it's 2024. Every game should be bloody live. Like, I hate this. Look, Stel, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I'll come back. I'll come back at half time.
Yeah. Come back at half time. Everybody, Stel, thank you very much. Please get over and subscribe to Tottenham Away. Much appreciated. Guys and girls in the chat, just so you know, look, the sunny conversation. I fully expect this is the sort of game where we'll get to see Sonny playing well. Hang on, let's put that cup there. Hang on, I'm just trying to get a few things sorted for the watch along. My tablet has given up, so I'm relying on my phone, which is not great. So if you see me looking down a lot, it's because I'm on the phone. By the way, Rangers are winning 1-0, and so are Villarreal, if anyone cares. I will start the timer based on the app that I'm watching. So some of you may be ahead of me, so I probably won't scroll down to the bottom of the chat. But Forster in goal, Porro, Dragoshin, Davis, Udogie is the back four. The midfield is James Maddison, Ibasuma, and Papa Sarr. And that means it's a front three of Brennan Johnson, Son, and Timo Werner. So that's the Spurs team. The Spurs bench is very young indeed. It's almost like we should have bought some senior pros in the summer, but we didn't. The bench is Austin, Reggie, Gray, Bergvall, Kulusevski, Spence, Lancashire, Ulasesi, Williams, Barnett. The Fulham team, with obviously Marco Silva as their manager, the Fulham team is Kenny Tete, Diop, Bassi, and Robinson at the back. Oh, hang on. Oh, my app is going to. Oh, what's going on? This is going to be one of those very frustrating days, people. I've just got this horrible feeling. It's going to be one of them days where the apps just keep crashing. They've got Raul Jimenez up front. Sorry, my app crashed. So they've got Berger and Lukic in midfield with Iwobi, Smith Rowe, and Nelson behind Raul Jimenez. I am going to just hold my phone while I talk to you guys, people. It's the easiest thing for me to do. I can't just have oh God, I'm having a mare. We're having a mare, guys. We're having a mare because the tablet crashed. For some reason, I cannot get the tablet to work. 1 second. If I can get it on that, I'm laughing. Come on, tablet. If I can get it on this, I'm laughing. Come on. Let's go to Fulham. Let's get it on there. Play. Sorry, guys. Bloody nightmare, this is. No, having a mare. I'm going to just have to watch it on my phone, ladies and gents. It's a pain in the backside when these games are not live. But it is what it is. It is what it is, people. Don't forget, Chelsea are playing at home to Aston Villa. Man United are at home to Everton as well. So there are other games going on. Tottenham are in a huddle. I will start the timer on my. I will start the timer when my app starts. I'm just checking. The game hasn't started on my app. I was just checking that it works. So Tottenham at home to Fulham. James, people will come for you and say, what if he doesn't drop a stinker? So the game is about to start on my app. It's probably started already. And there we go. So Spurs are off and running. Big up to each and every one of you. If I don't go to as many comments, it's because I don't want to scroll down and see any scores before they happen. So here is Iwobi playing the ball immediately out wide, and immediately they're going to look to get in behind, are they? No, they've gone back into Sanderberg. He sweeps a good ball all the way over to the right, in behind Destiny Udogie. So Fulham getting on the ball from early doors here. And they've got all the way back to Bernd Leno, and Sonny is going to press. I really don't know what to make of this game today. It should be a comfortable win. Bless me. Spurs are through. Sonny. Oh, you've got to finish that. You've got to finish that. James Flower will not be happy with that. Sonny was played through one-on-one with a keeper, and he's hit it straight at the goalkeeper in the first minute of the game. Should have been 1-0. That should absolutely be 1-0 to Tottenham. That's a terrible, terrible miss. Yeah, probably, Ash. I don't use it enough, probably, yeah. I never use it. James, he's going to score today and you're going to look silly. You know it. Everybody in the chat, can you let me know on the app you're watching, what minute are you in? What's the exact minute, not minute 2? By the way, here's Timo Werner. Down the line, he's got a lot of space. He's put it back onto his right foot. He's one-on-one with a fullback. And in typical Timo Werner, I mean, what sort of cross was that by Timo? What sort of cross was that by Timo? Really poor that. But Spurs starting to get on the ball here, starting to dominate. Papasar plays it into Radu Dragashin. So 2 minutes gone. Spurs have had a gilt-edged chance. Here's a Destiny Udogie. Destiny Udogie out to Werner. Werner, who's going to cut in on his left again, plays it down the line to Udogie. But I think it was out and it's a goal kick. Yeah, really sloppy that. Again, Timo Werner, just sloppy. Really, really sloppy. I'll keep you up to date with any goals elsewhere as well. Really, really sloppy. 2 minutes 5. So I'm on 2 minutes 23 at this second. But Sonny, really, a really lazy finish from Son, I would say there. I don't know what you guys think. I just thought it looked lazy. But Fulham had all the ball 30 seconds since the shot by Sonny. I don't think they've really had the ball. Here they go, though. Oh, they nearly gave the ball away, and Sonny was lurking again. Fulham now just playing the ball back across their back four. Let's get a bit of juice in. There's a ball played over the top by Fulham, but Radu Dragashin will come out and claim that. So if I go quiet, it means that not a lot is happening, people. So Savva's prediction of 3-1. Will I be in the mud? Will I get it right? Here's Brennan Johnson on the right-hand side. He's crossed the ball. It wasn't the worst cross, but again, not really any accuracy to it. Let's get rid of that. And there's a ball over the top. Destiny Udogie's going to keep it in, but Iwobi has got back. And now Fulham can break. No, a good tackle by Udogie. And it's going to be... Sorry, it was a good... Was that Basuma coming across? It was Basuma coming across, sorry. And it's a throw-in to Fulham on the right-hand side. If I don't go to the comments, it's because I don't want to go to the bottom. It's a washed finish. Oh, James, I do love you, mate. Right, so as the ball swept forward by Fulham. Fulham... Yeah, a lot of aimless balls up the top at the moment from Fulham. Here's James Maddison. Plays a lovely ball through to Porro. Porro goes out wide to Johnson. And again, Johnson, when he's got time to think and he's got to do something other than shoot, he's so poor. And there's a ball out wide. Fulham can break now. Fulham are on the left-hand side. They've got 3 bodies forward. Spurs have got 5 or 6 back, though. They lay the ball back into midfield. And Fulham are in no rush here. They've got the ball back out wide again on the left. The ball has been dinked into the middle. Dragassin clears it. Only as far as, I think that's... I can't see who that is, sorry. Maybe... Oh, Kenny Tete's on the ball. This is the problem. When you're watching it on Saturday this small, it's hard to do it. There's a good ball by Fulham. And it's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the box to the left. Anthony Robinson going past Basuma, but Basuma committing the foul. So Fulham have a free kick. Just under 5.5 minutes gone here. Let's have a look. Was it a foul? Oh, I don't know. It was soft, wasn't it? It was soft for me, but we know what football's like in 2024, and Fulham have a dangerous free kick. So I'm hoping that Spurs can be switched on for this. Werner and Son are making a 2-man wall. Fraser Forster is barking out instructions. By the way, don't forget, we've got the Spurs review tonight at 7:30. I've got a lot of good guests tonight for that. So Fulham are going to whip this free kick in Tottenham have got everybody on the edge of the 6-yard box. The ball is whipped in and it's flicked over the top. I think it was Timo Werner who, was it Porro or Werner? It hit the top of somebody's head and went out for a corner kick. Chelsea are 1-0 up versus Aston Villa. Chelsea are 1-0 up versus Aston Villa. I'll let you know in a minute what happened. Aston Villa gave the ball away. Cucurella won it. It went to Fernandez. Cucurella pulled the ball across. And Nicholas Jackson can't stop scoring, can he? And there's another foul by Timo Werner. But the refs allowed the play to go on. And Nicholas Jackson, again, what's that? His 7th, 8th, 9th goal? Anyone let me know? Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0. Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0 in that game. Nicholas Jackson in the 7th minute, scoring goals, isn't he? Scoring goals. Dare I ask the question, who would you like, Jackson or Solanke? But I won't do it until half time. Here's Fulham driving down the middle, but Dragashin's got no one around him, and Spurs can bring the ball out. Spurs can bring the ball out here. I think it's been quite both teams look a little bit lackluster to me. Would that be fair to say? 7.5 minutes in, there's a long diagonal ball, and Robinson can come and deal with that. It falls to Pape Sarr. He leaves it to Porro. Back to Pape Sarr. Pape Sarr goes into Basuma. He gives it to Maddison. Maddison goes back to Ben Davies, who puts a ball out wide to Timo Werner. He goes into Udogie. Back to Basuma. And I would expect Spurs to dominate play here. I really would expect us to dominate play. Big up, my man. Big up, International Observer. How you doing, bro? I hope you're well. Yeah, they look good, don't they? They look good, Chelsea. They do. They look well organised as a team. But hey, here's Spurs with Basuma to Udogie. Udogie's going to go out wide to Werner. You know he's going to cut in on his right foot. He's cutting on his right foot. He's giving it to Maddison, to Basuma. Spurs, again, there's not really any pressure going on here at the moment. James Maddison lays the ball back to Ben Davies. He goes into Dragoshin. Fulham seem quite content to sit in their own half. They've not got a low block. They're just all in their own half, marking. It's not a low block. And then a really poor ball from Radu Dragusin through. Yeah, someone let me know, how many goals has Nicholas Jackson scored now? I know he's at least got 7 or 8. Now Fulham going to try and beat the Spurs press. They do beat the Spurs press. And then Spurs win the ball back really well through Udogie. Udogie gives it to Werner. He's got acres of space. Left-footed. Go left-footed. No, what is wrong with him? He will not use his left foot. He will not use his left foot. Spurs have still got the ball. Here's Pape Sarr. When the ball goes out to Johnson on the right, he just doesn't do anything, does he? Get him in the box. I just get him in the box. He doesn't do anything on the right side of the pitch. Big up to each and every single one of you. Hope you're well. 8 goals. 8 goals. The thing is, Joe, it's not so much about just splashing the cash. They've got some good young players going on, haven't they? They really have. But big up to you, Jody. Here's Fulham on the counter-attack, and the ball wasn't good enough. What Fulham are doing is they're only counter-attacking with 2 or 3, and what Spurs are doing well is getting 5 or 6 back. Here's Sonny at the other end with a poor ball, really poor. Again, Sonny for me, just a bit lackadaisical. 10.5 minutes gone. Fulham on the counter-attack again. Spurs have got so many bodies back. Robinson, he's beat his fullback way too easily, and then really well cleared by Ben Davies. Again, awful fullback play from Pedro Porro. Awful fullback play from Pedro Porro. He was absolutely skinned by Robinson. And Ben Davies, who's got a massive shiner. Anyone else notice that? Is that just me, or has Ben Davies got a massive black eye? He's not what he was for sure, but you wouldn't back against him scoring. Here's the cross in from Fulham into the box and headed clear by Udogie. Fulham just starting to grow a bit in confidence here. I wouldn't say it's been the worst start I've ever seen to a football game, but it's really not great. Well, the thing is, Sue, you know, for the last 30 games of the season, Poch had them third in the table, third on form. It's a corner kick here to Fulham. Just coming up to 12 minutes. It's going to be Lukic who's going to take the corner. Let's see. Spurs are a bit iffy on corners, so let's hope we can get this one clear. Lukic whips it in low and a header at the about 10 yards out on the right-hand side. Raul Jimenez heading high and wide, but again, got there first, got there before. I think it was Ben Davis, nowhere near it, and Raul Jimenez had a header, but high and wide, and there was no danger for Tottenham. So now Spurs can bring the ball out with Ben Davis. Who's entertained so far? I'm just kidding. I should be. Yes, I should be. Thank you. He hasn't really got on the ball that much, to be honest. Fulham are doing what every team does against Spurs. They're looking to counter, and that's what I would do against Spurs. So Emil Smith-Rowe's not really got on the ball as an attacking threat at the moment, but now the long sweeping ball down is headed out of play by Ben Davis. Ben Davis has started the game well here, and Fulham have another throw-in on the left-hand side. It looks like this is going to be taken by Kenny Tete. Again, not the greatest start from Spurs. I don't know if we're tired or what, but not the greatest start to a football match I've seen. And Fulham they're just growing into it, you would say. I would say growing into it. I think Fulham are now starting to edge it in terms of having the ball. Now, again, a good defending that time from Dragoshin. The man went past him, but then Radu Dragoshin got back at him. And now it's a throw into Tottenham on the right-hand side. I'd be comfortable if Rangers got a second goal. So just coming up to 14 minutes gone. Other than that sunny chance in the first minute, I don't think Spurs have really done anything here at all. Thanks, Angus. Write into them and tell them to watch me and see if they give me a job. I think my wife would like that, me being out the house every weekend, commentating, actually getting paid for it rather than doing this on YouTube. Tottenham have a throw in on the right-hand side. It's launched high into the air. No one's up there. And now Kenny Tette's got time to bring it down on his chest. He gives the ball to, I think that's Lukic. And here's Raul Jimenez. He goes out wide to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi goes inside. I want to say that that's Lukic. I don't know the exact numbers. Is that number 30 Lukic? I think it is. Yes. So number is that 20 or 30 is Lukic. When you're watching it on this size, it's really difficult, but it is what it is. I don't know what this means. You just have to calm things down and go, oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, listen, I agree. I mean, Fulham at the moment, listen, they're not doing anything great, but I think they've settled into a pattern here. And here's Iwobi. And the tackle was in by Udogie, but Spurs haven't really offered anything here. Spurs have not offered anything since that early chance from Son. I wouldn't say it's any player. We just haven't got going as a team yet. And now Fulham are going to come into our half. They've got a ball down the left, cut out this time by Pedro Porro. Papa Sarr goes back to Basuma. And now James Maddison can lead the charge. James Maddison goes one way, then the other. He's got no outball there at all. So he ends up going backwards. And now Basuma in the right back position. He's got the ball. Smith Rowe's closing him down. And Basuma's giving it away. Typical Spurs. We've given it away by overplaying. Here's Iwobi. Dinks the ball in. And Raul Jimenez should have been 1-0. Good save by Forster. Should have been 1-0 to Fulham. Again, it's our own sloppy play. Here's Udogie going down the left. I'll go back to that chance in a minute. Again, it's our own sloppy play. We gave the ball away. The ball dinked in behind the back line. And if it was a better touch by Jimenez, they would have scored. But to be fair, Forster came out, closed it down well. Here is Emil Smith Rowe running through like we're not there. They've got the ball on the left. The ball's whipped in all the way across. And Spurs can finally get it away, can they? It's a free kick to Tottenham. But again, it's really sloppy. It was sloppy against Roma. It's really sloppy again here. Hey, user said, Savva, I can sense it becoming one of those games. Thank you so much for the super chat. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, look, to be fair, again, Fraser Forster came out. He came out and, yeah, he did well. It wasn't the greatest touch, but again, thank you very much, user. I really appreciate that. Really, really do. And big up EdX, who said, big up, gentlemen. Thank you for both for your consistency and logic regarding the constructive criticism surrounding the club. Neither of you are negative, just logical. EdX, thank you so much. I do try my best, Ed, to be logical, but a lot of people don't like it. I'm going to come back to this in a second because Fulham are on a break here. Again, they've got in down Porro's side. Porro is nowhere to be seen. They whip the ball to the back post. Iwobi brings it down, lays it off. The shot's going to be taken, and Spurs just scramble it clear. Again, we have not started well here at all. Fulham are starting to see the gaps. EdX, thank you very much, my friend. I really do appreciate your support. Thank you. And yeah, we're starting to see gaps opening up at the back, and Fulham are starting to find those gaps. Again, we're just wide open. We're just wide open for me as a football team. Can't do this every game. But listen, it's 0-0. It takes a second to score a goal. So, again, Fulham carving through our midfield again, going past Porro like he's not there. Porro can't defend. He just, everything they're doing is down Porro's side. Everything they're doing. There's Lukic now in the midfield to Robinson. Oh, I'll tell you what, we need to get a grip on this. We really do need to get a grip on this. And not been the greatest start. And there's a ball down the line. They've got him behind Udogie this time. And Udogie, Basuma, to be fair, came over. Where is Udogie? Fair play. Basuma's come across. And I'll tell you what, Porro and Udogie are just criminally out of position at all times. Criminally out of position. And again, Sonny just now, in all of that, Sonny again, he just doesn't look sharp. I don't know whether it's age or fitness or what. He just does not look sharp. Here's a corner kick just coming up to 20 minutes gone. Fulham look the better team here at Tottenham. Here's Lukic with a corner. He's going to whip it in from the right footed, which means it's going to be an outswinger. Lukic whips it in to the edge of the box. It's headed down. Here's Diop. Diop's going to have another shot. It's bouncing around in there. Now Calvin Bassey. Now, and Spurs scramble it away in the end. Again, Fulham looking dangerous. Sorry, guys and girls. I know people won't want to hear that, but Fulham are looking dangerous. We look so... Yeah, Mark, the invitation. Yeah, absolutely. They're just constantly not at fullback, Porro and Udogie. And they're leaving. Basuma's having to come back and do a hell of... People will say, oh, Basuma was poor, but he's having to come back and do all of the work in the fullback area. So it's a corner kick to Fulham. This one's going to be an in-swinger from the left, right-footed. And Fulham are just building up ahead of steam. The ball's whipped into the 6-yard box. This one's cleared really well, I think, by Papa Sarr. Fulham can come again. Robinson gives the ball to, I think, to Diop. Diop goes out wide. Here's Emil Smith-Rowe. Fulham want the free kick, not going to get it. Can Spurs break here? James Maddison, he's only got Son up there. Sonny's first time ball, and it was cleared. Spurs had the chance to counter-attack, but the first time ball from Son wasn't very good, and Robinson managed to get back and clear the ball. But Spurs need to get a grip in this game. It's been really, really poor so far. Yeah, they're just showing a replay of Sonny going through again. I don't know, it didn't look good. But here's Tottenham galloping over the halfway line this time with Ben Davies. He goes out wide to Werner. We know Werner's going to cut in on his right. He does. He gives it to Maddison. Maddison looks up. He's looking for bodies. There's not really any gaps in there in the Fulham defence. Fulham looking very solid at the moment. This is a team that conceded 4 to Wolves last week. Lots of people saying Sonny's finished, by the way. Yeah, we do look very one-dimensional, mate. I just... Look, it's not been the greatest start. I mean, we're a quarter of the way through the game. A long way to go. A real long way to go. But I think Spurs really need to get a grip because, I don't know, I just find that we're very wide open. We're very wide open when Fulham are attacking us. Here's Papa Sarr holding off the tackle. Done well there. He'd done really well. Popped it into Maddison, who popped it back to Dragusin to open the game up a little bit. But now Fulham have got back into their defensive shape. They've looked solid, I would say would be the word from Fulham so far. Here's a Dogie. Goes out wide to to Maddison. Maddison cuts inside, lays it back to Udogie. Back to Ben Davies. Here's Basuma. A lot of football to be played, but at the moment, not a game for the purists. It's been very underwhelming from Tottenham, but one moment can change a game. We know that. One moment can change a game. Here's Yves Basuma. The ball's knocked forward. Son knocks it down. Here's Pedro Porro, and he's dragged his shot wide, but it looks like it's gone out for a corner. Is that a corner or a goal kick? Apologies if I don't know immediately. It was a skewed ball by Dragusin. Son knocked it down, and then I think it might have hit Calvin Bassey on the way through. I think it may have hit Calvin Bassey. It is. It's a corner to Tottenham. Can we nick a goal here? We've not played well, but can we nick a goal here? Because that's what it's all about, right? Can we nick a goal? The cross is going to come in from the left-hand side. It's going to be a right-footed corner from Maddison. Low, into the 6-yard box, flicked on, cleared, and then I think it was Pedro Porro with a left-footed half volley that bounced and bobbled away. By the way, Rangers have won 1-0 away at St Johnstone. If anyone wants to know why I care about that, they are in my ACCA. That's the only reason. I've now switched over to Chelsea versus Villa. So here's Fraser Forster with a free kick to Tottenham. Takes it short. No, he doesn't. Sorry. He's giving it to Ben Davies. He now gives it to Basuma. Is anyone going to put the ball on the floor? 25 minutes and 20 seconds gone here. Not a good game, really, from a Spurs perspective at the moment. It's all a bit slow from Spurs at the moment, isn't it? I don't disagree with you. They're just constantly left out of position. Constantly left out of position in this formation. And it's where we get punished. I agree, John. I don't think we're entertaining to watch. I don't know where this notion comes from that we're entertaining. I think we play well in patches. As a team, I find this really slow to watch. But 26 minutes and 20 seconds gone. Tottenham have now got the ball. Fulham have got everyone behind the ball. In the other games, it's still Man United 0, Everton 0. Chelsea are beating Villa 1-0. So as it stands, just to let you know, as it stands in the Premier League table, Tottenham will be 7th on 20 points. Chelsea will be 3rd on 25. But here's Tottenham with a cross from Porro and cleared really well. It's gone out for a throw. Really good defending by Teti. That was a better ball in from Tottenham there. And that was a better ball in. Yeah, he's having to cover the two fullbacks. So, Tottenham with a throw in. We've wasted that, and now Fulham can clear it, but only as far as Ben Davies. Ben Davies pops it into Udogie. I genuinely feel like we waste Porro and Udogie. I feel like they should be flying down the wings. There's a ball over the top. Papasar, it was too much of a stretch. The ball over the top to Papasar. He tried to bring it out the air. He couldn't. The keeper came and did enough to see the ball out for a goal kick. But it's still Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. It's a really good ball that from Basuma. But as I was saying, for me, Porro and Udogie should be flying down the wings because another game where Brennan Johnson does nothing on that wing. Like any time the ball goes to him, all he wants to do is pass it inside 5 yards. Now Fulham come forward, but Udogie can clear that, and he gives it to Werner. He pops it into Basuma. He plays it to Son. Again, Son looks so off the pace. He looks so off the pace. Every time he gets it, they're on him immediately. But Spurs have won the ball back in midfield from pressing here. And then a really poor ball was cut out. A really poor ball from Porro was cut out. And Calvin Batsy's gone down, holding his ribs, maybe his stomach. So just coming up to the half-hour mark. Oh. I agree. They should be getting down the line, James, getting their pace and their power down those wings. But we play them as midfielders. It doesn't seem to help us going forward, and it really doesn't seem to help us at the back. I don't know. For me, it's just I feel like we're doing too many things to try and reinvent the wheel, and I don't think we need to. By the way, in the Chelsea-Villa game, Martinez just played out a 4-5-yard pass, gave it away to Nicholas Jackson, who nearly scored. And Villa look awful, by the way. Villa, listen, they've hit a wall here, haven't they, in their league form? By the way, Calvin Bassey's still down injured, so you're not missing anything. So this game stopped. So has the Villa game. Yeah, he passed it out to Nicholas Jackson. And then Nicholas Jackson couldn't quite get there enough. And then there was a bit of a scramble on the floor. But yeah, look, Calvin Bassey is still down injured. I think it's Calvin Bassey here. But Fulham, I would say, have looked comfortable coming to Tottenham. I think we look really sloppy. I agree. I haven't seen that. Oh. Roy Hodgson's in the crowd. Oh, Roy's in the crowd. Go on, Roy. So Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. Over half an hour gone here. A couple of chances for Fulham. One good chance for Spurs. This isn't going to go down as a great, but this is the sort of game where you've got to grind out a win from somewhere. A long way to go. We're only a third of the way through the game, but it just doesn't, I don't know, it just looks like a bit lackluster, like they're not really up for it. We can't not win this because that would be three home games in a row in all competitions that we've not won in. I can't see us not. We've got to win this. Here's James Maddison with a really good ball through to Brennan Johnson, but the defender came around and covered. And now Fulham can clear the lines. Can they not? Oh, they played it very slowly. Here's Diop. Diop's broken the press and now gone down the line to Kenny Tete. Kenny Tete played a ball over the top to Raul Jimenez. Jimenez takes it down. Here's Radu Dragusin. And the ball had gone out. The assistant has flagged for a throw into Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, it's all a bit there, isn't it? It's really underwhelming at the moment. Roy Hodgson in. Maybe Roy's being lined up. Savva will take the draw. No, you've got to be winning. This is Fulham at home. No disrespect, but we've got to be winning against teams like Fulham. Got to be. Villarreal are 2-0 up against Girona, for anyone that cares. Tottenham just playing it across the back. Again, that's really, really poor. And Ben Davies just keeps the ball in and we can go again. Really sloppy from Spurs here today. Really sloppy. And now Udogie gives it away, but Maddison wins it back, plays a nice ball into midfield. Sarr plays a good ball through to Son, but Son again. Sonny is slow, so weak. Man United are 1-0 up against Everton, by the way. Man United are 1-0 up against Everton. As it stands, Man United will be 1 point behind Tottenham, I believe. Sorry, I might have that wrong. Let me just see. Man United, I think, are 1 point behind Tottenham. And another Fulham player is down injured. So another Fulham player down injured. By the way, as it stands at the moment, Man United are on 19 points. They're currently winning 1-0. I don't know who scored the goal, but someone in my chat will be able to let me know. So Man U and Chelsea both winning. As it stands, Spurs will be in 7th place on 20 points. 7th, funnily enough, is where I said I think Spurs will finish at the end of the season. It's a long way to go. But so far, I've been very accurate with what I've said about Tottenham Hotspur. I know it's called negative, but accuracy is there. We've got to find a way to score. Yeah, a draw isn't good here. A draw wouldn't be good, but there's a long way to go. Alan St. Ange has a cunning plan. Buena. Buena's a great little footballer. All day long, I'd love him in. I'd love him in at Spurs. Guys, girls, can someone let me know who scored the Man United goal, please? That would be great. A Braithwaite own goal. Thank you very much. Own goal, Braithwaite. Thank you, guys. Not a lot happening here at White Hart Lane now. So Sky have put it down as Rashford, but you lot are saying a Braithwaite own goal. Either way, Man United are 1-0 up at home. So looking to go a third game in a row without a defeat with Ruben Amorim. Long way to go there, though. A long way to go at Stamford Bridge and a long way to go here at White Hart Lane. But Tottenham, just, I don't know, something doesn't look right here. It just doesn't look right at all. I don't know what it is. Now Fulham have broke through the midfield. Now the ball's gone into Lukic. Lukic is going to run forward with the ball. He plays it out wide to Tete. Tete whips the ball in. And there's that's a great save. That's a great save from Fraser Forster. What a save from Fraser Forster. Again, the marking was absolutely dreadful. Chelsea are 2-0 up, by the way. Enzo Fernandez, who's starting to play very well again. The marking was non-existent from Tottenham. Non-existent. When people tell me, oh, we haven't conceded many, our defending is terrible. The cross came in. Fulham should be 1-0 up. Again, Fraser Forster. We keep having a pop at Forster, but he is to the rescue. It's a corner kick to Fulham in the Chelsea game. Enzo Fernandez with a lovely goal. 2-0 to Chelsea against Aston Villa. Really good finish by Enzo Fernandez in that game. Chelsea are flying. A corner kick from Fulham, whipped in deep into the box. The keeper was wanting, and then the ball's gone out of play. And I don't know if it's a free kick or a goal kick, but Spurs live to fight another day. Forster, to be fair, listen, there's a lot to doubt about the guy. But, I mean, God, didn't he keep Spurs in it? Hasn't he today again? Kept us in it. Fulham should have had 3 or 4 really good chances. And again, I don't know what, like when we talk about Ange ball, I don't know what it is. I just think we look really, really poor here. We look really, really poor here. Werner brings the ball out the air, goes all the way back to Udogie. And if Chelsea are 2-0 up, that win would see Chelsea, they are 1 goal behind Arsenal in goal difference. So they are 1 goal behind Arsenal. Here's Spurs down the other end. The ball crossed in and it's gone out for no, it hasn't. It's a corner kick to Tottenham. So Tottenham have got a chance to get a goal here. Pedro Porro is down injured. But Chelsea are 1 goal away from going second in the Premier League. All these people who told me they were shit. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Chelsea 2-0. James, I'll put the link in here. If I come off my app to send you, I might not get the app back again. But Tottenham Hotspur have a corner kick. Pedro Porro is back on his feet. We need to do something different second half. And we normally do come out better second half. But again, for me, this is Galatasaray was poor. Ipswich was poor. Great save. Great save. That's the closest we've come to scoring. Corner. It was Route 1 stuff. Corner comes in. Dragonsin with a header. And Bernd Leno with a fingertip save over the top. I don't know if it was going in, if it was hitting the bar, but that's a great save from Bernd Leno. So Bernd Leno and Fraser Forster both making great saves in the last 2 minutes. Tottenham have another corner. Can we finish the first half strongly? It's going to be a corner kick from the left. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger from James Maddison. James Maddison whips it into the 6-yard box. Leno with a big punch to the edge of the box. And the ball's gone all the way back to Udogie, and he goes all the way back to Forster. Forster being pressed by Iwobi, but Forster plays the ball long, and Calvin Bassey can deal with that easily, and Fulham can play their way out past the press again. Sander Berg goes back to Bassey, who I'm guessing is going to launch it. He does. Bassey launches it down the channel, and Dragonsin wins the ball in the air. And then Tottenham lose the ball in the midfield again. Again, we're losing the ball so easily. Here's Kenny Tete, but Udogie's going to get there. He's too quick for that. So we're just coming up to the 14-minute mark. Oh, Spurs have given the ball away. Spurs have given the ball away. Jimenez. Oh, I tell you what, we are so sloppy. That is my word today. My 5 words at halftime are going to be sloppy, sloppy, lucky, sloppy, sloppy. Really poor. Fraser Forster, for all the good things he's done, a terrible pass out. Fulham didn't make the most of it, and then we cleared it for a corner, but really sloppy play here. Really sloppy. I just feel like we're a mishmash at the moment. So the cross is going to come in. From Lukic, whips the corner in. Spurs have managed to clear that one away, but here's Anthony Robinson. He goes down the line to... No, he doesn't. He comes back inside. And Spurs, can we press? Smith Rowe's gone all the way back to Bernd Leno. And Bernd Leno, yeah, they've done well here, Fulham. They have done well. There's a ball over the top. Are they in here? They're in here. Again, Man United are 2-0, but we'll come to that in a minute. Calvin Bassey being held up by Udogie. Calvin Bassey, great covering by Papa Sarr. Papa Sarr coming back to help out because, again, that ball quick over the top. Spurs were undone again. Now, can we counter? No, we've gone backwards. Maddison plays it into Udogie. He lays it off to Basuma. So Man United are 2-0 up. I don't know who's got the Man United goal. Someone in my chat will be able to tell me. Man United 2, Everton 0. The revolution under Amorim is continuing. Chelsea, their revolution under their manager is continuing. Xerxes with a goal for Man United, apparently. Here's Fulham with a counter-attack. The ball's played in. Fulham have got space here. Here's Iwobi. Iwobi's going to shoot, and they've hit the bar. Fulham are chance after chance. This is dreadful football from Tottenham. And Fulham doing what everyone does against Angie's style of play. Just counter-attack. Just counter-attack. Again, we look so bad at the back. And again, not even Davis and Dragusin. We just look wide open, and Fulham are sensing a goal here. Fulham are sensing the goal. Really poor again from Spurs. Fulham ending the half the stronger. So Chelsea 2 up at home to Villa. Man United 2 up at home to Everton. Spurs 0, Fulham 0. Now, can Spurs do something in the last 3 minutes of this half now? Spurs would have put again. It's so sloppy going forward. So sloppy. Son, Werner and Johnson between them can't control a football. There's the ball by Smith Rowe out wide to the left. Spurs have got bodies over there to stop the run from Robinson. Was that Robinson? No, sorry, it wasn't Robinson. I don't know who that was. I'm dreading Adama Traore. Can someone let me know? Is Traore on the bench for Fulham? Is Traore on the bench? Can you imagine him coming on, running at us like this? Here's Fulham on the attack. Smith Rowe going through us like we're not there. Spurs are at 6s and 7s here. And a blocked shot, and Fulham have got another chance. We are at 6s and 7s here. We are a mess. We are a mess as Jimenez brings the ball out the air. He now crosses, and it's off of a Dogi for a corner. And Spurs look all over the place, all over the park. This has been a really, really poor half here. Really poor half from Spurs. Corner kick to Fulham. And Fulham have looked the most dangerous here. And they're going to get the ball into our box again. Here's Lukic to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe beats the tackle, beats the second tackle. He's still going, is Smith Rowe. And this time, Spurs can clear the ball. And the ball's gone over the top to Son. But Calvin Bassey holds him up. Now Sonny with a ball. A really good ball through to Werner. Werner cuts in onto his right, and a Werner again. The free kick's given. I thought it was soft, but Spurs have won a free kick on the edge of the box. Spurs are all at sea here, guys. Spurs are all at sea. We might go on to win this game, but no one is going to tell me we are entertaining. This is really poor football from Tottenham. Listen, we've got to see a better second half. 1-0 to who? I'm a fan. If you're coming in here and who's 1-0? Because if you're coming in and saying fake scores, you'll be blocked immediately. So Tottenham with a chance, just coming up exactly 45 minutes gone. Tottenham with a chance against the run of play to get the first opening goal. I expect Ange to make some change, to make even some tactical changes at half time, because this looks really, really poor from Tottenham. 3 minutes of injury time to be added on here. James Maddison, this is no more than 20 yards out. It's in a wonderful position. Can Tottenham go against the run of play here? And it would be against the run of play. We've got to be honest. James Maddison with a free kick. Can he get it up and under? It's one of those ones. You've got to get it up and over the wall in a very short space. He might have liked this being 2 or 3 yards further out. But here's James Maddison. The ref blows his whistle. Maddison with the low, hard shot. Oh, it's hit a post and gone wide. Oh, he tried. I thought he was going to whip it up and over the wall. He didn't. He dummied it. He went low. He went under the wall and it's hit the outside of the post. And that's as close as Spurs come. Fake scores will be blocked, by the way. You get one chance, that person who did that. It's a corner kick to Tottenham. Maddison's going to go out there and take it. From the left-hand side, he's going to whip it in right-footed. It's going to be an in-swinger. James Maddison curls the ball into the box, headed clear easily that time by Fulham. Sonny pings it back out towards Maddison, and the offside flag is up, and Fulham have a free kick. And listen, I think we could count ourselves lucky that we're going in here 0-0. I think we can count ourselves lucky. This has been a really poor performance from Tottenham. And again, Jekyll and Hyde, Tottenham just... But the problem is, other than the Man City game, the last 4 or 5 performances have all been really flat. Ipswich, Galatasaray, Roma, Palace. It's all been very flat. Now, here's Fulham in the last minute of the first half, going down the left-hand side. Spurs have got bodies back, but Fulham on the overlap have whipped the ball in. It's cleared, and again, Raul Jimenez should have done better. It kind of hit him, bounced away, and our defender in the end cleared it. And Fulham finishing the half much stronger than Tottenham here. And to be fair, this has been Fulham's half. I don't care if people call me negative. This has been Fulham's half. Got to make some tactical changes at half time. This has been really poor. Forster, to be fair, has saved us 2 or 3 times. We can talk about Vicario being out. That isn't the reason. For me, the tactics again, the tactics. I just don't. There's a corner whipped in, and Fulham are going to have a shot in the last 5 seconds of this half. No, they're not. They've played the ball out wide, and the referee has blown for half time. He's blown for half time. Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. A really, really poor first half from Tottenham Hotspur. A really poor half. Let me just quickly. Sorry, oh, no, not that. Let me quickly change that. So, 1 second, 45, boom. There we go. So, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Fulham 0. Really open at the back. Guys, girls, yeah, I mean, you can call me negative. Edge, if you're calling me negative, I mean, I don't know what you were watching there. That was an awful half of football from Tottenham Hotspur. Everyone's saying get Kulu on. I mean, Stel, welcome back. You can talk for a second while I have a delicious cookie. I mean, that was as bad as it gets for a home first half performance. It was really poor, wasn't it?
I did say before the game on your show, I've got a feeling this is going to be a bit end-to-end, and I think it kind of has been. My concern is the way they're passing through our midfield and then spreading the play out wide, and then we look out of position, out of shape, and then they're splitting us open. Other than some poor finishing from Fulham and some good goalkeeping from Forster, we should be losing this game. Sonny, first couple of minutes, really, we should be doing better. Unlucky just there, Maddison hitting the post. But overall, Fulham have been the better team. If I'm going to be, just say it as it is, Fulham have been the better team. Doesn't mean Spurs haven't had chances and Spurs haven't, attacked as well. It's an end-to-end game where Fulham look the better team in the end-to-end game. And if this was 1-0 Fulham at half-time, I don't think anyone would be complaining from a fair point standpoint. So, yeah, we've got a lot to do second half, man. We've got to wake up. If we repeat that first half, your money's probably on Fulham to nick it.
Just quickly, by the way, this link is for James Flower only. This is not an open invitation. If anyone else comes on, you will be booted and blocked immediately. Please, just for James Flower. I mean, the worrying thing for me still is it's the same issues time and time again. Porro and Udogie are nowhere to be seen in the fullback areas. And every time they go down the line with either Iwobi, Tete, Robinson, They look like they're going to get balls into the box. And, I mean, that gilt-edged chance in there by Jimenez, this game should be 1 or 2-0 to Fulham. The worrying thing is, still, we never seem to stop this. It seems to be the same every game.
Yeah, see, Forster made a really good save when he went down, but the oh, look at this!
What are you?
Come on, Fulham!
Is it
What is going on, James?
What?
A new club, mate. That's it. Done.
What on earth are you doing?
It's a family thing. My granddad passed, and he was basically brought me up, sort of thing, like as my dad. And he was a massive Fulham fan. So one of the things he said is, when we play, like he said, for your funeral, you've got to wear it, and then when we play, I want you to wear it. So it's a family thing.
I'll let you off, and we'll overlook it.
I was about to say, what a negative channel.
You know what will happen? Someone will clip this.
Yeah, good.
And they'll go, look at Savva's channel. And I'll be like, oh, no.
Hey, respect your granddad, James. Respect your granddad.
But yeah, no, it was my promise. So it's one of those things. It is what it is.
Talk to me, James. You were very critical before the game and for the last 6 months or so about Son. I'm guessing that's what you want to come on and talk about.
Well, I've been saying, I've said it to Stel's before we even started the season, last season. It's a championship front three. I'm sorry, but tell me one of those players that deserves to be playing for one of the top teams in the championship. People keep saying to me, Son, he'll do well up front. His movement shit, his work ethic shit, his first touch is shit. Well, what is he good at? Like, don't get me wrong. When he had Harry Kane playing in balls in pinpoint, where all he had to do was knock it into the back of the net, okay. But he can't do that anymore. He had that one-on-one chance and he fluffed it. He's done that a lot. So for me, we look okay until we get like 60% of the way up the pitch. As soon as we get to that 60% line, it's game over. We don't know what to do. We turn back. I feel sorry for Maddison. I really feel sorry for Maddison.
My mate at the game has messaged me this. No names. Every time Fulham target beat Porro like a knife cutting through paper, we offered nothing. No bite in midfield, giving the ball away, trying and failing to play out the back time and time again, and an anonymous front three. Other than that, I'm having a great day. He's not wrong though, guys. This inversion again. When we were at Man City, we didn't do it. Today again, Porro and Udogie are tucked into midfield, and any gap in behind, boys, it's like the definition of insanity, isn't it? We're doing the same thing every game, going, they'll catch on soon. Every other team's manager has worked out how you get in behind our channels, haven't they?
Yeah. I said we should be counting our lucky stars that they're not playing Adama Traore, because if Adama Traore was where Iwobi was, they'd be 3-0 up by now.
He'll come on. He'll bring him on. He'll say, last 20, 30 minutes, he'll bring. My worry is the midfield right now. Before the game, we were saying how, Saar, Basuma, Maddison, it works, but you don't know what Basuma you're going to get. That midfield right now, they're passing it into the midfield. They're playing a couple of 1-2 touch pass moves in the midfield. We're not shutting it down, and then the ball goes wide and they're in. If you look at a lot of their attacks, it's starting from them going into the middle, pinging it through our midfield, then going wide. Our midfield right now is not doing its job.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. Simply saying, I'm not saying the players are world beaters, but when you have a manager employing tactics that do not work, what do you expect? Now, James, the thing for me, again, look, sorry, just quickly, Aussie Adam, Savva, the fullbacks aren't a problem. Aussie, every time Fulham go through us, our fullbacks are nowhere to be seen, mate, because they're playing so high up. Of course, that's a problem. Every team is doing this to us, Aussie Adam.
It's both. It's the midfield and the fullbacks today, Aussie. It's both. Both are a problem so far.
Problem is Porro's being taken to the cleaners again. He can't defend.
Yeah.
One-on-one defending.
I agree. I agree. The only thing I would say is every time we attack, if you actually look, it's Porro that's making that run, not Johnson. So it must, and again, I'm just sort of trying to play devil's advocate. If you're Porro, before you start this game, you go, right, I've got to be the one that creates the goals, scores the goals, defends the goals, and works through the midfield. This is where Ange needs to take the blame, because you're giving two men impossible task of left back, left mid, left striker. So it's impossible. What can they do? What can he do? If he don't attack, Johnson stands there like a square, and we don't attack. If he does attack, we get caught out. It's catch-22.
But guys, we've seen performances like this before in the first half, and then second half, we've come out, had a 10, 15-minute spell, bish, bash, bosh. Can you guys see that happening today?
I don't know.
Not with Kula on the bench. Not with Kula on the bench. That midfield's not ticking, Savva. That midfield is not ticking. The fullbacks are being pulled out of shape. When the fullbacks have to recover and defend, they can't. The only reason we're in this game right now is because of Fraser Forster and some poor efforts from. If you look at that save where Forster went down low and made a good save, Jimenez, he hit the ball into the ground. If he just hit it straight into the net, Forster's not saving it. So it gave Forster that extra split second to make the save. So if Jimenez just is more clinical, but then again, if Son was a little bit more clinical in the first couple of minutes, we'd be 1-0 up. So
yeah, I just don't know where I stand with this team. This is, again, it's another game where I think, what are we? It's another game where I don't know what we are.
You know that comment where he said this is 18 months into Ange's process? I can't agree more, because even if we were playing bad but trying to play in a certain way, I'd go, you know what? We this is where we're going. This is what we're trying to do. All we do is go down to the left or right wing, cut back to midfield. The midfield cut back to Basuma. Basuma goes back to the centre back, and then we go to the winger, and it's basically the same routine. It's out to wide, back into the middle, out to the wide, back into the middle. Yes, Ben.
Yeah.
So
I just want to see. Look, we saw a performance like this, didn't we, against West Ham and against Villa? Not as bad as this, by the way. But by the way, Fulham have had 8 shots to our 5. They've had more passes than us, a better pass completion than us, more corners than us, more possession than us. We're at home. These lot just got beaten 4-1 at the Cottage by Wolves.
He was right. It's entertaining for the Fulham fans. They've got a great bargain.
It's madness. Listen, we've got to find the win from somewhere, right, Stel? Like, play badly, whatever. We've got to grind out a win somehow, because Man United are winning. Right, again, remember Man United, who sacked their manager because they were appalling? That Man United team are currently 1 point behind Tottenham. Right, so again, they're starting to build momentum. Chelsea, as it stands, gentlemen, Chelsea are 1 goal away from going second in the table. Brighton have got 23. City have got 23 and are playing later on today. Brentford are level on points with Tottenham as it stands. Fulham are 1 point behind. Newcastle, 1 point behind. Villa, Spurs are 1. This is mad. Spurs are 3 points off 4th at the moment. And we are 2 points off of 13th. So we've got to win today somehow still, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm getting a bit sick and tired of fans saying, oh, we're only 3 points off 4th, we're only 2 points off this and that, when the reality is, if you take advantage of the so-called easier games, we'd be in the top 4. So the fact that, they're trying to mask our failure to capitalise on opportunities given to us. An opportunity was to beat Ipswich, to beat Palace, to beat Fulham today. Capitalise, and then we're not saying we're 2 points off 4th, we're 6 points off that. No, we're there. The fact we're not there is because of this. And then they mask that failure to be there by saying, but we're only 6 points. Yeah, but we never close the gap. When are we going to close it if we can't beat Fulham at home, right? You've got to beat Fulham at home, man. You must. We've been here before. How many times are we going to beat a team 4-0 and then say, oh, yeah, but look what happens against Rome. Look what happens against Fulham. And we've got to beat them. Do I think we'll beat them? Savva, it's like I said to you at the start of the show. We're either going to win 4-0 or lose 2-1.
Well, look, a user has come in and said, big up a user, by the way. Thank you. Always supporting the channel. Said people complained about Jose Mourinho's dross football. Can you tell me the difference between that and Angie's run to the byline and cross it in? Boring.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I feel like, as I said, when Spurs do entertain, I feel like, James, that it's in sort of 10, 15-minute patches where we go and grab 2 or 3 goals really quickly. In general, though, is our style of play entertaining? Because I don't see us being wide open and conceding chance after chance as entertaining football. I see it as naive. What do you make of it, James?
I just, the thing is, to play this sort of style of football, or what I think he's trying to play, you have to have creative midfield wingers. You have to have people that are going to create chances out of nothing. Unless our strikers or wingers are gifted a chance from a ball of magic from Porro or suffocation, we don't create clear cut. We don't. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a winner run down a line, cut in and finish. Like, we don't create anything like that. It's so static. It's so basic. And this is what I was saying about Son. People only realise how washed Son is and when we replace him with someone, if we replace him with half a talent, because he does nothing. He offers nothing.
Yeah, it's
There's no subs at half time, by the way. Kulu stays on the bench.
Yeah, Kulu. Well, listen, I think Kulu needs a rest. And by the way, let's not. I know everyone will go, oh, but Kulu, if he had played, I mean, Kulu played against Roma. You know, when we were being sloppy and in midfield and stuff. So, you guys are welcome to stay. But by the way, Man United have just gone 3-0 up at home to Everton. Under Amorim, that looks like that's going to be 2 wins and a draw for them in their first 3 games. Please do smash the likes. Billy the Year said this is crap to watch, embarrassing to concede chance after chance to mediocre teams. That's got to be the big issue for me as they come out for the second half, guys. That's got to be the big issue, is the number of chances, gilt-edged chances. And I know the column Stel says 13 goals conceded. People go, oh, it's better. We should concede loads, shouldn't we? The way we give chances out.
Our goalkeepers have kept that low this season. The goalkeepers have kept that really low. But again, it's the nature of the goals conceded. If you don't concede any against City, but then you concede 2 against Brighton, 1 against Palace, 2 against Ipswich. We're conceding goals against 2 against Roma. We concede against the weaker teams.
By the way, just quickly, Jamie, again, isn't it funny that why is Maddison always the one scapegoated? Why is Maddison the one scapegoated in this game? Why have you not picked somebody else?
Where's Johnson?
If he actually,
guys, I'm going to go. It's kicking off the second half. I'll come on later.
All right,
mate. Bye.
If you actually watch Maddison when he gets the ball, the first thing he does is looks up and turns. If there's no runners, he has to turn back and give it back to the midfielders or the defenders. What is he meant to do? I don't understand it. Like, for me, I don't get it. What else can you ask for him to find the pass that's not there?
No, I hear you, but James, I am going to kick you off so I can commentate.
I'm going.
You could come on at full time. Big up to you, and rest in peace to your granddad.
Take care, mate.
Much love. So the second half has kicked off. No substitutions from either teams as far as I can make out. Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. We've simply got to find a winner today because this has been very, very poor. Here goes Timo Werner trying to take his man on, and his man took the ball off him like candy from a baby. Again, the whole James Maddison's thing's interesting. You watch him every time he gets it, he's looking up. Where's the run? Where's my winger going for me? Where's the forward? But it is what it is. By the way, Aston Villa have taken off Emi Martinez at half time. Apparently he's injured, and Olsen has come on for them in that game. So they're 2-0 down, 2-0 up, 2-0 down Villa. So Chelsea 2, Villa 0, Tottenham 0, Fulham 0, and Man United 3, Everton 0 as things stand. And there's a foul by Papa Sarr on Calvin Bassey. And it's going to be a free kick to Fulham down in the right back position. But we need a much better second half performance here, people, because that was a really, really bad. Again, Kevin, the likes are literally identical to the way Spurs play. Very Spursy. I know people don't want the Spursy tag, but we are. Big up to Blaine Dev. How you doing, man? Said, don't feel we can play Biss and Sarr. Need Kulu on second half to Rome. move Sonny to the left wing, give a target in the box, give Will a chance. Well, again, you know, we keep talking about the youngsters, Blaine Dev. Thank you so much for the super chat. We keep talking about the youngsters, Blaine Dev. And then when it comes to injured players, we don't give them a minute of football. So, look, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but, you know, I do think Kulu needs a rest and he'll probably only bring him on. But Jamie, he's a playmaker. You can't own a game on your own from playmaker. You've got to have everyone around you linking up. It's not the way it works. As a playmaker, how can he own a game when he's got no runners on the wing, no centre forward to aim for? I think we've got to understand football tactics a tiny bit better than just saying that. Here's Fulham down the left-hand side. Robinson keeps the ball on. Fulham again look very comfortable on the ball. They've come out the same as the first half. We just look a bit ragged here. There's the ball in behind our defence. The cross whipped in and it's gone out for another corner off of Destiny Adogi. It was off Basuma again. So where is Adogi when we're defending? I'm not blaming him, but where is he? Lord Rodney agreed. Playmakers need support. They need outballs. They need people to link up with. Again, Maddison takes all the blame every game. There's a cross all the way through. It's been headed clear. And now Fulham have got a chance to whip another ball in. We've come out exact same this second half. Here's Iwobi, tries to thread a ball through. Spurs blocked it, but now it's gone out wide. Here's, I think this is that Robinson? He's whipped the ball deep. It should have been, it's a great save again. Another save at the back post by Fraser Forster. Tottenham, we look all over the place. We look horrible again. Horrible again. If we don't win this, this will be 1 win in 5, by the way. If we don't win this, this will be 1 win in 5. For all the people that keep telling me I'm negative, this could be 1 win in 5 if we don't win. But 14 minutes to go. Fulham are quickening up the attack here. They're trying to get balls into the box because they know we can't defend them. There's a ball played in behind. Again, it's laid back and Kenny pulls the ball over the bar. But Fulham are all over Tottenham at the moment. And Tottenham really, someone needs to put their foot on the ball. This has been poor, really poor. Really, really poor. 50 minutes gone. And so far, nothing has changed in this second half. Thank God they're missing their shooting boots, my man. Thank God. Again, given away by Tottenham in midfield. Again, so poor. And now Iwobi's going to run down the right-hand side as he plays the ball back into Lukic, who I think's had I think Lukic and Berger have had a really good game in midfield. But Tottenham have got 40 minutes here to sort this out because this looks really poor. Here's Lukic again. Space for fun in that midfield. The problem is Basuma and Sarr are spending so much time covering the fullbacks that they're not actually in midfield running a game of football. And again, now Sarr gives the ball away in midfield. Fulham sweep the ball wide again. What is going on? The Fulham player takes on Porro like he's not there. And another save from Fraser Forster. I tell you what, Porro, I keep hearing he can defend. That winger took him on like he was not there. Look at this. Reece Nelson just dropped his shoulder, went past Pedro Porro like he's not there. We have got to sort this out. This is awful. Big up, Mark. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that, mate. Saying keep up the great work, Savva. We are awful today. Yeah, we're not good. Just quickly, here come Fulham again with a ball across the box. This time cleared by Ben Davis, Ben Davis and Fraser Forster have been our two best players. So before we say who we're missing, two of those players that have come in because of missing players are the better players. Big up, Mark. Really appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Fulham again dictating here. Spurs look dreadful. Honestly, this is a really poor performance from Tottenham. I don't know whether we can get a smash and grab, but again, Emil Smith-Rowe starting to get on the ball here more. So is Iwobi. Here's Robinson flying down the wing. He's got Nelson outside of him. He gives it to Reece Nelson. And again, Reece Nelson cuts in, plays a great ball into Smith-Rowe, dinks it to the back post. The header saved by Fraser Forster. I tell you what, this is absolutely horrible, isn't it? This is horrible. Are we playing Real Madrid? We might as well be. This is absolutely shocking. I agree, Alan. It does look worse. Again, Fulham are coming at us again. Fulham are flying down the wing. They've got 4-on-4 here. Here's Robinson, plays it across. This time, again, Basuma, who's covered a whole lot of work. Basuma's having to do a whole lot of work. Now Tottenham on a break. Here's Brennan Johnson, but Brennan Johnson can't beat a man for toffee, so he lays it back into the midfield. Here's Timo Werner. Can he cut in? He dinks the ball to the back post. And Tottenham are 1-0 up through Brennan Johnson, completely against the run of play. Tottenham are 1-0 up. And I tell you what, Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. We are the luckiest football team in the world. We truly, truly are. Brennan Johnson, again, can't do anything. But when he floats into that box, he scores a goal. It was a good ball over the top. But Tottenham Hotspur hit Fulham on the counter-attack. In the end, it was a very, very good ball by, it was clearly onside. It was a good ball by Werner in the end. And Tottenham Hotspur could smash and grab this game because we've been disastrous. But sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. 1-0 to Tottenham. Fulham will be gutted. At the moment, we don't care. But now we've got to make sure. Of course, yeah, he ghosted in at the far post. Yeah, it's a normal Spurs goal. Werner dinked it to the back post, and Brennan Johnson put it in. Now, can Spurs use that for some confidence? Can we put off our foot on the ball? I wouldn't use the word superb. I think if we can nick a win playing this badly, you take it and you run. I wouldn't use the word superb at all. But here's Fulham again. Can we now use that as a basing point to calm everything down? There's James Maddison fouled in the middle of the park. Tottenham 1-0. Let me change score. Tottenham 1-0. I'll be honest, I do not know how. I really, really don't know how. But we are 1-0 up against Fulham. And at the moment, we've got away with it. At the moment. So 55 minutes gone. Here is Ben Davis at the back. Radu Dragusin, he goes back to Fraser Forster. But nothing silly now from Spurs. Just keep it tight for 10 minutes. Keep it tight for 10 minutes. Nothing silly. No silly passes in midfield. It's a free kick to Tottenham. Hopefully, we've taken a little bit of sting out of them. Hopefully. Well, listen, I hope for you and all our Spurs fans that your acca comes in, mate. Right, can Tottenham now? I just want to see for the next 10 minutes, not just again, I say this every game, just nothing silly, nothing crazy playing out the back, no sloppy passing. Here is Pedro. When I go quiet, nothing's happening, guys and girls, by the way. When I go quiet, nothing is happening. So Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. We've now got something to hold on to. It makes me feel a little bit at ease. Again, yeah, I agree with you. He should be playing. He should be the one playing through the middle. As a right winger, nothing. In the middle, scores goals. He shouldn't be on the right wing. I don't know what this means. Savva fuming. Ed, listen, Ed. Listen, I understand you're being a child, but I'm going to give you one more chance. You keep saying silly things, mate. Grow up. You've got to grow up. We want a channel of adults. And unfortunately, we've got idiot trolls like you that come in and have to be idiots. No, sorry. It's not funny, Edward. It's not funny. When you say you're messing, it's not funny. It's not funny. So here is Tottenham on the left-hand side. That's it. A little bit more possession now would be lovely. But we've given it away with a sloppy pass. They've given it away with a sloppy pass. Yeah, Ed, please, listen, I get enough from the trolls, mate. I don't need people doing that and then saying, oh, I'm messing. I get enough from the trolls, all right? Let's just watch a game of football. We all want Spurs to win. So now, Ben Davies in the centre circle. So that, at the moment, what that does for Tottenham, it puts us up into sixth place. Sixth place. At the moment, it looks like we've completely taken the sting. It looks like we've completely taken the sting out of them for the moment, which is very good. So currently Tottenham in sixth place, 22 points. Man City down into fifth. Brighton fourth. Chelsea third. Arsenal second. Liverpool top. We're playing dreadful. We've been awful, but we're at the moment, all that matters is that the top left-hand corner says Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. At the moment, it's the classic smash and grab. We've looked dreadful, but here... Come on, don't play about it there. Let's get it out. The ball goes... I always worry when we play it out from the back. Fraser Forster plays it out to Ben Davies. He plays it down the line. That's better. That's really well played there. Here is Destiny Udogie. He's running down the left, pulls it back into Son. Son is wiped out, but the ref has played on. Here's James Maddison. Plays it into Pedro Porro. Porro to Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson down the line. Oh, it's a poor ball in the end. Again, we've seen the best and worst of Brennan Johnson, don't we? I agree with you, Simon. I do get it. I do get it. But the thing is, it's also like playing without a right winger, isn't it, mate? Like, for me, I think it's a conundrum because he scores goals, but his all-round game is just like, he's not in this game, then goes in and scores. That's fine. But when the ball goes out wide right, so Tottenham have given away a free kick. 30 minutes to hold on here, or get a second, whichever way you want to look at it. 30 seconds to hold on, because this has so far has been a very disjointed performance. So Lukic plays the ball out wide. Here's Iwobi. I think that's Iwobi. He plays the ball down the line to Lukic. Lukic with a little flick to go past Basuma. And then a free kick. Oh, you get a free kick for anything nowadays, don't you? I mean, was that a free kick? I'd be disappointed if that went against me, but it didn't. So Tottenham 1, Fulham 0, 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes for Spurs to grind out a win here at White Hart Lane. Can we grind out this win? So, Reece Nelson is coming off for Harry Wilson. That's interesting because I thought Reece Nelson has the beating of Porro. But Harry Wilson, who has scored a few goals lately for Fulham, he's come onto the pitch. Also, looks like, is that Tom Kearney coming on for Lukic? Man United are 4-0 up, by the way. Man United 4-0 up at home to Everton. So they're enjoying their first Premier League home game under Ruben Amorim. Absolutely. No, do you know what? Most people have been really good in the chat today. Most people have been really good in the chat, Philly. It's been decent today, to be honest. I think everyone just wants to get this game done and dusted and we move on. It's certainly not been a classic. So here's Fulham on the left-hand side. It looks like a Wobie might have moved to the left. Oh, by the way, sorry, I've just missed the Liverpool team. But City are Ortega in goal. Walker, Diaz, Akanji and Ake. So they've gone back to their tried and tested Lewis, Nunes and Gundogan with a front three of Silva, Foden and Haaland. Here's Fulham going down our left. Here is a Wobie on the left-hand side. He's one-on-one with Porro. Porro held him up well there, and Fulham have gone back into midfield instead. They're being patient here as Emil Smith-Rowe plays the ball out wide to the right. I think this might be Harry Wilson. He plays the ball down the line to Tete. Tete crosses the ball. Iwobi brings it down. I thought he was going to have a shot, but he didn't. There's Robinson with a shot high and wide, and Spurs can breathe easily. Xerxes with another goal today for Man United. Man United 4, Everton 0. It is very congested up there in the Premier League, isn't it? It is very congested. From 4th down to 13th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams are separated by 5 points in the Premier League. So at the moment, can Spurs hold on? Can we hold on? In the other game, Aston Villa are losing away at Chelsea 2-0 in that game. So lots of games going on at 1:30. And then obviously the big one, Liverpool versus Man City at 4:30. And don't forget, we'll be back tonight for Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur. The Spurs review at 7:30. I'll be honest, Daz, I just want to get to 90 minutes and get the 3 points because this has been a tough watch today. There's a ball over the top. Ben Davis cutting it out again. Here goes Fulham again. No, Fulham have got a man over. And that's brilliant. Blocking there by Radu Dragusin. Fulham had a man in the box on his own, and that was brilliant blocking. Really good blocking from Radu Dragusin. We need to be careful here because Fulham still don't look like they finished. Well, I think that's why Man United made the change early to try and force that position. You know, look, we seem to have stemmed the flow a little bit since the goal, which is good, but we've just got to be careful here because Fulham are decent on the counter. They are decent when working the ball through midfield, if we're going to be completely honest. But it's a free kick to Spurs. There's 65 minutes exactly gone. Kulusevski is coming onto the pitch. So Kulusevski is coming onto the pitch. I bet you it's Maddison he takes off. There's the ball swept wide to Robinson. Robinson brings it down, then gives the ball away. Papa Sarr can retrieve it. Now the ball's been popped back in by Brennan Johnson into the Dragusin to Basuma. To Porro. Listen, it's not been pretty, but get the 3 points and get out of there. Get the 3 points. Oh, we've given it away dangerously in midfield again. Fulham have got 4 or 5 men over, but Spurs, to be fair, we've got 6, 7 back. We've done well there. And Fulham have still got the ball. Jimenez was brought down, but the ref has played on. Fulham have still got the ball. Here's Tom Kearney. He goes out wide. This looks like it's going to be Robinson. He plays the ball. Again, they've got him behind us so easily. The ball is whipped in and cleared this time by James Maddison, who got back and worked really well. Now the ball's gone out wide to Harry Wilson. Spurs have just got to keep their shape here. Dig in. There's a ball floated over the top brilliantly to Robinson. Robinson plays it into Iwobi. Iwobi cuts in on his right foot. It's laid back. There's the shot. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Really good goal from Fulham. You've got to say it. A really good goal from them. But it is Fulham 1-0, and it's Tom Kearney with the goal. I think it was Tom Kearney. To be fair, they deserve it. They do deserve it. It was a very well-worked goal. But again, guys, girls, you all have a go at me when I say this. Look how easily they overload the fullback. Have a look here, how easily they overload the fullback. Brennan Johnson didn't close down his man. Iwobi got the ball, left it. Again, look at that. Look at that. Really poor, the overload. Teams just need to overload Udogie and Porro. Every goal. It's how the goal came at the week against Roma. It's how the goals come today. And Fulham have the goal they deserve, if we're going to be brutally honest about this. Oh, dearie me. Let's see what that does for the Premier League table. That puts Spurs back down to 7th. Back down to 7th. So we've only gone down one position, but back down 7th. Timo Werner has come off and Kulusevski has come on. There are 22 minutes to go. We need to dig in here. We need to really dig in. Yeah, exactly. Iwobi and Reece Nelson have taken our fullback to the cleaners today. Got to double. We got to stop this inverted fullback stuff. We've got to play a back four, please. Play a back four. There's a ball out wide to Sonny, who's gone left. Sonny plays it into Maddison. Maddison drills it across, and the ball is cleared for a throw-in. Cleared by Calvin Bassey. That was better from Tottenham. Spurs forever saying this is Rome all over again. Fulham deserve to win this, much more quality. Look, they've been the better team, but listen, we've got to, by hook or by crook, we have got to find a winner. You can't be, we lost to Ipswich at home. You can't then draw the next one or lose the next one. Got to find a winner from somewhere. And there is time to do it. Oh, yes, Ian JD is right. And again, Fulham crowding out our players here. And again, Fulham look very comfortable on the ball, don't they? Here's Iwobi. They've gone back into Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno goes to Diop. Diop dinks the ball forward. And now Fulham have got another chance again. It's 3-on-4. It's 4-on-4. It's 5-on-4. Spurs have now got a fifth player back. And thank God that Robinson's touch on the left-hand side was a poor one, because they were in there. They had 3 or 4 bodies coming into the box. And Tottenham are all at sea defending. We are all at sea. 18 months this team's been worked on, and our shape is terrible. And now Fulham have worked it through again. And this time it's out to Kenny Tete. Kenny Tete tries to play the ball into Harry Wilson, but it's blocked by Udogie for a throw into Fulham. And this is going to be a very interesting last 20 minutes. Chelsea 2, Villa 0. Man U 4, Everton 0. Tottenham 1, Fulham 1. It's so poor. We've been so poor. Yeah, Carlos, the frustration in my voice is because no matter how much I get called negative or told I'm not a Spurs fan, it's the same thing every week, mate. It's the same thing every week. Can we dig out a win? I mean, we've got to dig out a win, right? We've got to. You can't lose at home to Ipswich and then not pick up 3 points at home to Fulham. You can't. You simply can't. 2 bottom half teams. You've got to be beating them. Sorry, Fulham are 10th. That's a bit harsh, but you know what I mean? Got to be beating them. Yeah, he's looked good today, hasn't he? He's looked good today as Iwobi. Oh, so 18 minutes to go. Can we find a winner? I mean, I don't think it will be deserved at all, but can we find a winner? The game has become very stretched now. People don't like to hear the truth. This is 18 months. People keep telling me we're a better team and we're learning and we're growing. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Jamie Allen has said Johnson is the worst defensive winger. He scores goals, but other than that, he doesn't create. He doesn't work hard. I agree. Iwobi cutting through us again. In the end, Sarr got him with a really good tackle. And now Tottenham can drive forward. Oh, has Kulu got it? Kulu's got it. Robinson tried to dive in on him. Go on, Kulu. Whip that in. Whip that in. Poor touch from Kulu in the end. It was a poor touch, but he's won the corner kick. His touch took him out of play. But big up, Jamie Allen. Really appreciate you for that. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate that. If Kulu had a better touch there, he could have driven into the box. So a corner kick to Tottenham. Just over 16 minutes to go here. Jake, there's enough time to find the winner. People saying I look in pain. It does hurt me because this is the club I've supported for years, and it just doesn't feel like a lot is improving. Here's Iwobi, plays it out Fulham on the counter-attack again here. It's like they've done their homework, Fulham. You can see they've done their homework on how to beat Tottenham or to attempt to beat Tottenham. And it's the same thing I say week in, week out. Down the wings, this formation doesn't work when defending. I don't know how many games people have to pretend that it works. I don't know how many games we have to pretend that it works. It doesn't from a defensive standpoint. Lisa said, what are we doing? 17 months for this rubbish. Here goes the Dogido driving through. And again, his ball is poor. And then James Maddison's tripped on the edge of the box. Spurs have a dangerous free kick. At the moment, this has got to be our best chance because we don't look like creating anything in open play. How can you go and batter Man City 4-0? And then either side of that is Galatasaray and Ipswich and now Roma and Fulham. So that'll be 1 win in 5. But because the win was Man City, everyone lost their mind. Videos made about me as how wrong I am. I just don't think I'm wrong with this team. They are okay, but it's not this all singing, dancing team that people think it is. So it's going to be a free kick. James Maddison with, what have we got here? 14, just over 14 minutes plus injury time. Can James Maddison dig out another free kick? He hit the post with one in the first half. Again, it's very close to the edge of the box. Is there enough room to get it up and over the wall? Maybe, maybe not. By the way, please do smash that like button. It's free, people. It's absolutely free. We've only got 283 likes and there's 507 of you in here. So it's a free kick. Maddison's over it. Basuma's over it. I'm pretty sure we know that it will be Maddison. Harry Wilson is laying down behind the wall this time. They didn't do that in the first half. Can Maddison whip one in and save our blushes here? James Maddison with the free kick. And it's hit the wall and gone over. It wasn't a great free kick, but the wall did its job. It's hit the wall and gone out for a corner. It will be if we don't win today. If we don't win today, it will be 1 win in 5. But because that 1 win was Man City, everyone goes mad. Because that 1 win was Man City, By the way, in the Chelsea-Villa game, Cole Palmer is through on goal. He's through on goal. He's cut in. He's had a shot and it's blocked by Villa. Chelsea have been superior to Villa today. Every time I look up, they've got the ball. They look like a well-oiled team now. I'm watching Chelsea. Again, no inverted. Defenders playing like defenders. Wingers playing like wingers. And Raul Jimenez is coming off for Fulham. So Raul Jimenez coming off for Fulham. And the player coming on is going to be Muniz, who had a really good spell last year, didn't he? I think, didn't he have a spell where he scored like 8 in 8 or something? Again, this is why when everyone loses their mind, said that's the benchmark. Well, look at the 2 games we've played since. We look awful. I did. So we're coming up to 12 minutes. Spurs have, we don't even look like scoring. Do you know what I mean? We don't even look like putting any good moves together. Son's out there. Johnson's out there. Kulu's out there. Maddison's out there. Sarr, Basuma, Porro, Adogi. There's good enough players out there. There's a throw into Tottenham on the left-hand side. Got to find a winner from somewhere. Got to find a winner somehow here. Whilst keeping it tight at the back. Fulham see that out for a goal kick. Really poor. Really. Listen, I mean, again, every time I predicted 3-1 to Spurs. Mate, I know, but people don't want it. People don't want it. We want to give him time, give him... I mean, is this any better than what we watched under Conte? Today we've had 3 shots, I think. Someone said we had 3 shots on goal. Dragosin clears that up in the fullback position and then gives it away. That sums up Tottenham, doesn't it? Here's Kearney running through. Fulham have another opportunity here. We are we defensively horrible. Is that fair to say? There's a ball across goal cleared by Ben Davies, who's been our best player. I don't care. Ben Davies and Fraser Forster have been our best players by a country mile. Fulham win the ball again in midfield on the tackle on Maddison. Here's Kearney to Smith Rowe to Kearney. They look up for this. There's the ball played through. And Tottenham clear this one. But again, Fulham win the second. They're winning every second ball. There's a ball floated over the top this time. Brennan Johnson wins the header. And a Wobie against Kulu. Kulu comes away with the ball, does he? Brennan Johnson gives it to Kulu. Kulu plays it down the line to Johnson. Johnson then plays a ball into the midfield and gives the ball away. Again, when you ask Brennan Johnson to do the simplest of things, he can't do it. Ask him to go in and score, he can do it. There are just over 9 minutes to go. This has got all the vibes of Roma, hasn't it? All the vibes of Roma. Here's Kearney, caught in possession in midfield. And then a foul. And then a foul from Tom Kearney on Kulu. It's going to be a yellow card for Tom Kearney. It was a foul, was a yellow, in my opinion. Oh, I just don't know anymore, people. I'm just glad he's not on. I'm glad he's not on. He's very wasteful, but his pace. I agree. Spence doesn't ever get any minutes, does he? Oh, dearie me. See, I've just watched Chelsea there. Chelsea were getting attacked by Villa, right? Chelsea were getting attacked by Villa. And Cucurella and the right back, both in position. I think Tom Kearney could get sent off here. Was it a red card? I don't know. For me, I don't think he meant it. I mean, I'd like to see it slowly. Yeah, I think it's a red card. I do think it's a red card. I do think it's a red card, and I think this could help Spurs control the last 8 to 10 minutes of this game. I do think he's going to get sent off. I think it's harsh, but I think it is a red. It's a red card. It's a red card for Tom Kearney. And if that's what it takes to get Spurs up in the mood, then so be it. But we've really, really got to dig in. Joe Hendry said, can we give the red to this manager instead? He's not for me. Yeah. Lisa, I'd only seen one replay. Now, so again, it is a red. Yeah, it is a red. Now we've got to... Now we've got to find something here. We've got to find something. We have got 6 minutes plus injury time against 10 men Fulham to find something. Throw the bloody kitchen sink. Get Will Lancashire on there. Go long. Get Will Lancashire on there as well. Something. So Marco Silva giving some instructions to his players. They're all giving each other pats on the bum as if to say, come on, they can do it. Spurs, now Ben Davies is trying to G up the crowd. Bergval's come on. Papa Sarr has gone off. Archie Gray and Bergval. Don't we need a goal? Sarr and Maddison off. So he takes off our creative playmaker when we need a goal against 10 men with 6 or 7 minutes. And doesn't bring on a striker. I will never understand this manager. I'm sorry. I will never understand this manager. I don't get it. But Leno is now down. So can I ask, why have we not brought on Will Lancashire? Isn't he a striker? Siraj, I don't get it. I don't get it. If we don't win, I don't get him at all as a manager. By the way, Chelsea are 3 up at home to Villa. Chelsea are 3 up. And I'll tell you what a great goal from Cole Palmer. What a great... Chelsea are flying. Ryan Sessegnon and Castagne have come on for Fulham. So Fulham are making some defensive substitutions, of course. Tottenham now have 5 minutes plus injury time. 5 minutes plus injury time. Emil Smith-Rowe is going off. I mean, I'm not even going to say I love Ange. I just think he confuses me. I never say I love him. I don't get him as a football manager at all. Listen, if you win the game with one of those subs, he's a hero. For me, why are we not bringing on a centre forward? Why are we bringing on 2 midfield? You've taken off your playmaker to bring on 2 midfielders. Time will tell. What have we got in the last 5 minutes? His son. He goes wide to Basuma. You would probably think Fulham are going to sit in. What have we got? The clock is ticking down. Again, passing from right to left. Sonny goes back into the middle. Here's Archie Gray. He now goes across to Radu Dragashin. Porro lays it off, gives it away, and now Fulham are on the counter-attack. They haven't got many bodies forward, though. Bassi dinks the ball forward. And he's done well there, whoever that is. Is that Munoz? He's done well there to hold it up. But Bergvall gets back, plays the ball into Forster. Come on, Tottenham. Now is not about pretty passing. Now is about getting that ball forward. Snatch that win. Love you, Kuva. Love you so much. Oh, dearie me. 2 minutes. 2 minutes plus injury time, Kuva. Surely we've got to dig out a win from somewhere. Surely you can't lose to Ipswich and then draw with Fulham, sandwiched with a home draw to Roma. Chelsea 3, Villa 0, Man U 4-0 v Everton, and Tottenham at the moment have got 2 minutes so that we don't fluff our lines. There's the cross whipped in, and it's gone out for a corner kick. Tottenham have a corner. Is it a corner? Or did that hit Bergvall last? I think it went out for a corner. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, good defending from Bassi in the end. Yeah, me too. Corner kick by Porro to the back post. And Dragusin rose the highest, but headed it wide. And we have got 1 minute plus, I'm guessing, maybe 5 minutes of injury time. I'll be honest, I didn't even notice Son was playing today, if we're honest. Another poor performance from him, unless he pops up and scores the goal and we'll all love him again. But I think when you look across our team, other than Ben Davies and Forster, I'm not sure anyone can really hold their head high with this performance. Come on, Spurs, just dig a goal from somewhere. Here's Pedro Porro. Get it forward, get it forward. There's the ball over the top to Son, cut out, and Fulham live to breathe another day. Live to breathe another day? Live to fight another day. Fulham now clearing it long. Ben Davies heads it out. Munoz is chasing. So is, I don't know who that was, sorry, in midfield. Oh, Ryan Sessegnon. I was going to say, who's that? So we're into injury time. I can't see there being more than 4, really, but I guess there's 7. 7 minutes. Tottenham have slipped. Fulham are on the counter-attack. It's 2v3. Fulham are still going. Here's Harry Wilson. He takes on his man. He's still going. He pulls it across, and Radu Dragusin clears it off the line. Fulham nearly nicked it in injury time. There are 6.5 minutes of injury time to go. Big up to 7-inch Destroyer. I said, hey, mate. Mediocre game. Need your advice. Bought a goal. Went it down. Wow. 7-inch Destroyer, please. Can we not do that? I appreciate your super chat, but please, can we not do that? I mean, sorry, mate. That's not what this channel is about. Please. Sorry, there's no need for that sort of talk. So Fulham with 6 minutes to hold on here. Tottenham with 6 minutes to find a winner. A corner kick going to come in from Fulham. Deep to the back post. Fraser Forster claims that easily. Go on quickly. Fraser Forster launches it long down the field. Kulu's going to chase, but Fulham clear that ball high and out for a throw-in to Tottenham just by the halfway line. We have 5.5 minutes to find a draw and save our blushes. Right, what have Spurs got? We've got Kulusevski cuts in, driving with the ball, plays the ball out wide. It goes to Son. Sonny plays the ball down the line. Can Adogi cross it? He can, but Bernd Leno comes out and claims it, and it was a kind of hit and hope cross. Oh. Man United has finished 4-0. Man United has finished 4-0. Chelsea are 3-0. Tottenham at the moment fluffing their lines to stay in touch. Here's Archie Gray, who's been shuffled out to the left. I don't know what we're doing with Archie Gray there. He's now on the left-hand side. Just knock it long. Get a striker on. What are we doing? We've got 4 minutes to save this because this is embarrassing. There's a ball through the middle, and my feed has then gone. The ball's whipped in by Porro. Headed clear by Diop. Come on, Spurs. Less than 4 minutes of injury time to go. Here's Bergvall, whip it in the box. Gray, again, all this short passing, 5-yard passing, get it in the box. Here's Sonny, shorts into Kulu. Kulu trying to probe and prod, and his son. Here's Basuma back out to Adogi. He cuts in. He goes back to Basuma. Basuma back to Son. Get the ball in the box. Sonny beats his man, whips it across and straight into the arms of Leno. And Son, I hate to say it, has been absolutely atrocious yet again for Tottenham. I know we're not allowed to say that because it's Son, but he has been atrocious here. He's bringing Will Lancashire on with less than 3 minutes to go of injury time. What is he doing? Here's Fulham with Muniz. He did really well to hold the ball up. And now Spurs on the break with Pedro Porro. He plays it down the line to Kulu. He's not really got anyone up there with him. What can Kulu do? He cuts in, but Fulham have doubled up and cleared well. Again, we just look lackluster. No ideas here at all. And Basuma handles the ball, and there are 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. This has been atrocious from start to finish, from Tottenham, from Ange, from the players, the tactics yet again. And Will Lancashire is coming on for Archie Gray. I mean, you can't write it. How Spursy do you want to be? Gray came on, 10 minutes ago? Got injured. And now Lancashire's coming on. He wasn't even bringing on Lancashire because we needed a centre forward. There's the ball pumped high by Fulham. They're just going to try and keep it up there, aren't they? But a really good tackle by Dragashin. Get it forward. Here's Kulu driving through the midfield. What have we got? A great tackle by Fulham. Really good tackle. And now they're going to drive into the corner. Tottenham have got 90 seconds to find a winner here. And again, I'm going to say it, atrocious management, atrocious application by the players. And I mean, when they've gone down to 10 men, how are we taking off a playmaker and bringing on 2 midfielders rather than bringing on an attacker? What are we doing? What are we doing? There's 1 minute to go. Tottenham need to somehow get this ball and launch it forward. Cleared again. Fulham now have cleared it out for a throw-in. We've got 45 seconds to find a winner. This is going to be, if we cannot find a winner, this is going to be 1 win in 5 games. Here's Adogi. Get it forward. Here's Son into Basuma. Stop with the 5-yard passing. Get that ball in the box. Here's Porro. Porro whips it in, and it's a poor cross, and it's cleared by Fulham. Fulham can clear their lines again. There's 20 seconds to go. Get it in the box. And again, get it in the box. Get it in the box. What are we doing? What are we doing? Get it in the box. And that's it. It's all over. An atrocious performance from Tottenham Hotspur. 1 win in 5 in all competitions. Absolutely atrocious. I don't care. Clip me up if you want. That is 1 win in 5 games. 1 win in 5 games, and people are called negative. Really, really poor from Tottenham. Everybody, you know how it goes. 5-word answers. 5-word answers. We go down. They go down to 10 men, and the manager takes off a playmaker. He takes off a playmaker and brings on 2 midfielders rather than bringing on Lancashire, who's a striker. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm so confused by this manager. I am so confused as to what this manager is doing. I'm so confused as to the tactics. 1 win in 5. We've lost to Galatasaray, lost to Ipswich, beat City, and then 2 draws in a row at home. What are we doing? That, as I said, shocking subs from Ange. I completely agree with you. Revanite said Ange isn't good enough. I'm not allowed to say that, but I know. Can't wait for excuses this week. Wilson with a good tackle. Look, let me get to the full-time comments. 5-word answers, people. Please, as you come in, please do smash the like button as well. I've tried my best to give you full-on Martin Tyler type commentary, and now I'm absolutely shattered. Stel, shouldn't I work for Sky Sports? Shouldn't I? Should.
Only if I'm the co-host.
Oh, mate. Stel, before we get into the game as a whole,
yeah,
we did this after the Palace and the Ipswich game.
Yeah.
You got 5 minutes to go, and we're passing around the back. Pass. And Lancashire, he makes 2 substitutions still when they go down to 10 men, and the playmaker comes off. The 2 kids come on, and Lancashire, the kid who's an actual striker, doesn't. Talk to me about it. It's just a mess.
Listen, Savva. That, and it's not knee-jerk, it's not me overreacting. That was a bloody disgrace, right? That was an absolute joke. And if it wasn't Dragusin being in the right place just off the line, we could have lost that 2-1 in the 93rd minute when Davies got absolutely skinned by Wilson after Udogie. We've seen Udogie do this before, loses possession in a dangerous place with a silly pass. Fulham fully deserved that point today. And in my opinion, they deserved the win. They were the better team today. Ange Postecoglou, tactically, inability to motivate players, and the substitutions were on a different level. Jesus, they're down to 10 men. There's 15 minutes to go. You can win this. You got 1 striker on the bench. Bring the striker on if you're going to bring on kids. Bring him on. He's a kid. You bring on Bergvall, who hasn't played hardly any minutes in the Premier League, as your game changer. Archie Gray comes on for what? To do what? He's not going to create the attack unless you play him as someone that can whip in the ball. But he kept Johnson on the pitch and he put Son out wide, so he's not going to do that. I'm just gobsmacked that fans tolerate this. That aside, Savva, what a shit game of football to watch if you're a Spurs fan. I wasn't even entertained. That was awful to watch. We got dominated by Fulham. We're the home team. They dominated us. The amount of times, the space they found out wide, and they did the same thing all game, and it wasn't addressed. It was the same thing. They didn't overlap. They underlapped. So they'd get wide, and the player would come in from the inside, and they'd feed them in, and then that's where the goal came from. No one in the club, coaches, manager, players on the pitch said, guys, look what they're doing. We need to nullify that. Don't worry about the overlap. They're coming in from the inside out. And I just sat there and I thought, this is crap, man. This is rubbish. Are we saying Iwobi, Smith Rowe, Lukic?
By the way, how good
these players are better than Spurs players? Are we going to do this?
How good. I mean, listen, we'll come to this in a minute. Awobi and Smith Rowe were phenomenal. I thought they were brilliant. Just quickly, big up to a user who said, I'm sorry, but tell me what was entertaining. Dross, a user, big up. Stel and I will talk about this in a minute because, again, other than the Man City game, which was sandwiched in between 4 very poor performances for me, the Ipswich defeat, Galatasaray, Ipswich, Roma, and now Fulham sandwiched in. So big up to you, user. Thank you very much. Ed X has come in. Hang on, Still, I'll come to that in a second. Said the most expensive ticket in Europe. Are you not entertained? Ed, I feel like all other fan bases are thoroughly entertained. I feel like, yes, we are becoming Arsenal fan TV because we're a mess. I think we're a mess. Big up to you, Ed. I always appreciate you. And Blaine Dev giving out 5 Tottenham Football Heritage TV memberships. Thank you so much, Blaine Dev. I don't know who got them, but so Donna Cullen got one, Duke Main got one, Barbaric Disdain, Bella, the Sheriff, all got one. Stel, as I said,
do you know what, Savva?
Go on.
This just proves to me now that win at Man City was more about Man City's incompetence than our greatness, because you cannot lose to Ipswich, draw against mid-table Roma, who haven't won an away game in 13 games, and then play Fulham at home, who are down to 10 men for the last 15 minutes and not win. You cannot look at that and say, yeah, but look at that Man City result. We were brilliant. No, I just feel Man City are in a mess. There's a crisis in the club at the moment. It'll probably be even worse today because I think Liverpool beat them. That Man City win was more about City than us, Savva. When you look at the bigger picture, that was more about City than us, in my view. I'm not saying we were bad on the day, but that was more about City not being good, in my view, when you look at what's going on around us now.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at it, as I said just now to that guy, big up, big boss JR World. Listen, it's not here we go again. Some of us are consistent with what we say, and I know that again. I know I know specifically Stel and I get called out the most for this because we're probably the loudest. But again, you watch the excuses that will come out over the next week. The excuses, and knowing Spurs will probably go to Bournemouth and pick up a win. That's the sort of team we are. I'm not predicting a win. I'm just saying. Still, it started with Galatasaray, right? We were told Galatasaray, we've gone weak. This is a gimme. We're going to beat Ipswich. The Ipswich game was then atrocious, right? We've then battered Man City, and everyone's going, Jekyll and Hyde. We've then been really poor against Roma, if I'm brutally honest. I thought we had some good moments, but we're poor. And then really poor again today. Aren't we starting to see that, is this even Jekyll and Hyde? Aren't we now getting to the stage where the poor performances are outweighing the good ones?
The football is boring, Savva. It's the same thing. Try and get the runners into space. They run up the wing, send it to the back post for someone to score from 6 yards or score a tap-in. We try and score the same goals over and over and over again. Where's the creative variety in our attacking play? Where's the long-range shots? Where's someone running one-on-one with the defender, beating the defender, then slotting past the keeper? I just feel we're so set up to play one certain way that if that doesn't work, we don't know what to do. And we kind of stumbled on some success against City where we went low block, played more counter, more transitional, but we kept the press. So the forward players, you still press, but we're not going to push the whole team up for the press in case they're getting behind. That was kind of the winning formula. He's changed it. From the City game, he's completely changed it. We saw it against Roma. We went back to type, and we saw it today. Today, I don't even know what I was watching. I couldn't understand how we were trying to do it today. It just looked like Fulham came to White Hart Lane and they looked like the home team. They played with the confidence of the home team. They moved the ball like the home team, and their attacking stats, they beat us on possession, chances created, shots taken, shooting accuracy, passing, corners, all the attacking metrics. Fulham beat us today. And even
Everything.
against the run of play, even against all the odds when we didn't deserve it, we were thrown a lifeline. Right, they're down to 10 men. And what did he do straight away? Their manager, he went to a 5-3-1. He goes, right, I'm going to tactically change it. And he successfully pulled it off. We didn't know what to do. We brought on kids, and the wrong kids. We said, Lancashire's the only striker. Bring him on. Why are you taking off Maddison? Why are you taking off? Are we saying that Bergvall and Gray are going to create more than Maddison? Are we really saying this as a Spurs fan base now? Because if you do say that, well, you have to say that if you're going to defend Ange, because that was Ange's decision. He said, bring on Bergvall, bring on Gray. They're going to offer me more than Maddison from an attacking sense. I can't get on board with that, Savva. Listen, I'll say it as it is, Savva.
No, absolutely.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Ange. I'm not a fan of Ange. I don't like the inconsistency. I don't like the fact that he tactically changes it when he doesn't need to. I don't like the fact that he says one thing, but then I see the opposite. I just feel, yes, there's a process. Yes, there's a plan. Yes, things take time. But I'm not accepting that when you look brilliant against Villa, brilliant against West Ham, brilliant against Man United, brilliant against Man City, but then you can't beat Palace, Ipswich, Roma's, Fulham's. Sorry, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Half-decent manager today wins that game for Spurs. He wins that game for Spurs.
Well, I agree. Look, I just want to agree. Big up Chloe. Hope you're well. She's always in my chats, always showing support. So big up to you, Chloe. I know difficult being a Palace fan that you are, but I think she's right. Ange doesn't think about the opposition. He plays into their hands, poor tactics and management. And again, Stel, another manager today that you've seen completely work his tactics around our formation. As you said, everything they did was doubling up on our fullbacks and underlapping. How many times did Iwobi on that side and whoever was on the other side, Nelson, slip balls on the underlap? And every time, but this is how we conceded against Roma. We had the double up on the defenders. The ball went past Archie Gray, not his fault. Whipped in, they scored. I don't see that we actually. I don't see that we try and adapt to our opposition's tactics ever.
We don't. And the Ange lovers will say, why should we? We shouldn't. It's who we are. But look at the way we beat City and look at the way. And I say, but hold on. That's great. But then if you can't beat the other teams, then something's wrong with the way you're playing. And it is him not adapting. I was actually stunned by the amount of space from start to finish that Fulham found in the wide areas. The amount of space we said, there you go, do what you got to do. I was stunned that was the case for 90 minutes. It wasn't like a 15-minute patch or a little 25-minute wave where they dominated us. From start to finish, Fulham were given that space. Even with 10 men, Wilson found the space to rip us.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Any other manager looks at that and says, that's happened the whole game. At what point do I address that? At what point do I say, I need to change something? And it was the whole game. You let them keep coming down those flanks.
No, I completely agree. By the way, I'll tell you what else is shocking, apart from the amount of space they had still, is there's 1,000 people in here and only 353 likes. Please, shamelessly, smash the like button. It's free. And look, we're chasing down 15K. So at the moment, we're on 14,353 subscribers. If one of my mods would be so kind to put my link and Stel's link in the chat, there's just under 1,000 of you in here now. If we can get 50, 60 people subscribing, that'd be amazing. But Stel, you're bang on. We're sitting here as fans. And I know some people, Stel, I completely get it. Some fans don't want to look tactically. I get it. I'm not knocking those people for that. Some people just want to watch football. I get it. I think me and you want to go a little bit more into, well, what was the tactics today? How could we have avoided that? And we're sitting there going, you've got to stop this overlap and this underlap. You've got to stop this at fullback. They came out second half and for the first 5-10 minutes, pummeled us. We get the goal, but they pummeled us. getting in behind our fullbacks time and time again. That can't be fun for Porro and Udogie, Stel. It can't be fun for them, surely.
They did the same thing the whole game, right? They play it out from the back and then they send the ball into the middle. Our midfielders then get drawn in. 1, 2, 3 passes. They've sucked the midfield over and now the gap opens on the other side, right? Switch it. And even when our midfielders went over to that side, you'd see this long to mid-range pass, switching the play of the entire pitch. We found the space on that side. And it's clear to me, Marco Silva sent them out and said, attack the flanks, use the midfield to suck them in, then ping it wide because you've drawn them out. And if they do come over and stop you, switch the play and you get them on that side. The whole game they were doing that. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. Not once did Ange say, I can see what they're doing. I'm going to stop that.
Let me change it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you can't say these things because it means you hate the manager. It means you hate the club. But I'm just tired. I'm tired of when we win. The players are brilliant. Ange it was a masterclass. We're progressing. And then as soon as we don't win the next game, it's Ange wasn't backed. Be patient. These players aren't quite good enough. But that's not what you said. No one spoke about no experience on the pitch when we smashed Man City and Man United and Villa. We've got experience on those days. But what? There's no experience when we play Fulham, Palace, Roma. Look, Savva, for me, I just want to see a team that makes me believe we're going to win these games. And we said before the game, we don't know what we're going to get. And what we saw, we didn't know we were going to get that. No one could have predicted that because we don't know what we're going to get. And it's that uncertainty that is why I say the things that I do, because I'm not certain. The only thing I'm certain of is Ange tactically too often doesn't adapt when the other team is on top of us for long periods of the game. He watches it happen. He did the same against Brighton. Brighton looked that second half all over us. He didn't adapt to the way the game changed. It's almost like he thinks other managers haven't got the ability to tactically change to nullify us. Yeah. So therefore he doesn't need to counter it. Mate, you do. That's football. It's a game.
But again, you watch. As soon as they went down to 10 men, right? Marco Silva called all his players over, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went, you two off. You two go on. I want three at the back. I want you two. And you could see like the Fulham players were all, come on, guys, we've got this. You watch Spurs when we make a tactical substitution. It's always the same thing. It doesn't. All right, today we didn't have a lot of pros, senior pros on the bench. But even when we do, it's always whoever's left winger off, Werner comes on. Whichever one of Sarr, Bentancur, and Basuma doesn't start, comes on. Like it's all so. It's never thought out. It's never like, hang on, I see this is happening in game. I'll tell you what I'll do is, listen, you're getting murdered, Porro. Do you know what? Basuma, come here. Basuma, go and play right wing. And hear me out, by the way. When I know Basuma's not a right winger, but Basuma, go and play right wing for 10 minutes. Sit in front of Porro. Go and double up with him. Go and make sure that they can't overlap, underlap, whatever. We don't do it still. We literally, it's who we are. And it's who we are, stuff. We're a team that's won 1 game in 5. And people like, tomorrow when I do my debate show, I'll have people on going, Savva, give him time. And I'm like, cool, but we're 18 months into his management now, and I'm not seeing what's improving. We don't look like a well-oiled team. We look like a team that's never played.
It's inconsistent and it's incoherent. Look, two things. First of all, to beg your pardon, to Mamba in the chat who says Stel's a typical Spurs fan. He thinks our players are better than other teams. Proper snob. No, mate, I've absolutely slammed our players. I slammed the transfer window. And yes, I expect our players to be better than Fulham's. I expect our players to be better than Crystal Palace. And I expect our players to be better than Ipswich. Yes, call me a snob for that. I assume we're a top 6 club, right? But regarding the substitutions, you're bang on. When Fulham did make the subs, he's called them all in, he's rallied them, and he said to them, we're not walking away today with nothing. We're not walking away from this day with nothing. You don't deserve that. You've been the better team. We're getting something, 10 men or 11 men. And he set them up and they went and said, yeah, we can. We do the tactical substitutions and we're saying, why has Maddison come off? And you see Maddison's face on the bench. He's unsure. So the players on the pitch must be thinking, why have we taken Madders off? Then you see the striker on the bench not coming on. And we're thinking, why is the only striker not coming on when we need a goal? And the striker's job is to score a goal. And the players must be thinking, we're going to bring on some of the youth. What about a striker? So
what about the young striker? Yeah.
Our substitutions is a bundle of confusion. Their substitution is, we got this. And you're looking at it and you're spot on when you said that, when Silva called them in. Because I looked at it, I thought, freaking hell, this lot are up for it. I looked at us and I was in the WhatsApp. Why has he come on? Why is he taking him off? Why isn't the striker on? I'm in a different headspace. So
yeah, the worrying thing for me, Stel, is that when you look at that game today, we all talk about, oh my God, Vicario's out. Oh my God, Romero's out, or Van der Ven. The two best players for me, you might disagree, were Ben Davies and Forster. Now, don't get me wrong, Ben Davies got skinned a couple of times, but he mopped up everything in the box. And Fraser Forster made some very good saves, whatever we want to say about him. But my point is this: at home, should Spurs be needing to make that many last-ditch tackles, that many clearances, that many saves one-on-one with our goalkeeper? How are we still, 18 months in, still looking that wide open? It is madness.
Listen, for a team that's supposed to be attacking, possession-based and free-flowing, the amount of passes from the back and Pape Sarr that were given away today were unbelievable. The amount of forward balls that we gave back to Palace today, I just sat there thinking, how many times are we just going to pass it straight to Palace? We can't even make a pass from the back to the midfield. After 18 months, we still can't do that. All right, it happens once in a while. Players aren't perfect. But it happened way too often for a team that is supposedly well-drilled, that's had plenty of coaching. And you're right. Davies did have a good game, other than the one or two times he got skinned. I thought Dragusin actually had a half-decent game defensively, not necessarily on the ball. But other than that, there was no standout player on that pitch for Spurs today. There was no one. Forster. Forster's probably our man of the match, Savva.
I completely agree.
Man of the match. So when your goalie's the man of the match, what does that say about you?
I mean, look, this is what we'll start to get. Savva's being negative. Fulham are a decent team. Listen, I think Fulham are a decent team, but this is the problem, right? If I turn around, right, this is what I love still. If I turn around before this game and gone, do you know what? A draw's a very good result, right? I've got hundreds of people going to me, oh, where's your winning mentality? Right? Back the manager, back Spurs. I've said we're going to win 3-1 and it's Savva's negative. Fulham are decent. Fulham just lost 4-1 at home to Wolves, right? And I'm going to do some super chats and then I'm going to show you a few things still. First of all, big up to Blake, who said, I'm Aussie, but I'm sick to death of this fraud. Get him out. Son needs to go as well. He is not a captain and he is well past it. Look, Blake, I don't want to play the in-out and in-out game. I can't be bothered with it, if I'm honest. Anything I say will just get clipped and taken out of context. I'll stand by what I've said all the way along, Blake. This manager isn't for me. I think tactically he is... Somebody referred it to me like this. They said he's tactically redundant. And I like that term because he is. He doesn't look at the teams we're playing and go, this is how you get the better of them. We just play one way. Son, I'm sure, listen, when I do the Spurs review tonight, there's going to be a hell of a lot of Son conversation. I'm sure they're well on... I'm guessing Stel's going live tonight at about 10, 9:30, something like that. Are you 9 or whatever you're doing?
9 o'clock tonight. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. So I'm going live 7:30 to 9, and then I'll redirect to Stel. There'll be a lot of conversation about all these things, Blake. So big up to you. Thank you. Ian JD has said the win at City has done us no favours. Ian, I suppose the difficulty is listen, on its own in isolation, Man City away 4-0, phenomenal result. But what I'm about to bring up is going to show you how, in the bigger picture, it doesn't mean anything. So I'll come back to that, Ian. An A user said, Savva, I said it was going to be one of those games. You did. You absolutely did. I can't knock you for that. By the way, if anyone cares about Watch, Chelsea won, Man U won, Rangers won, Villarreal paid out because they went 2-0 up. Real Madrid are 1-0 up. So it's just Juventus and Lyon for £2,000. So Juventus and Lyon, who will let me down? Stel, I want to bring this up and show you, right? Here you go. So this is on Sky Sports, right? This is Tottenham. Hopefully everyone can see that. This is our last 5 games. So this is Galatasaray, we lost. Ipswich, we lost. City, we were brilliant. Roma, we drew. We were, I would say, okay against Roma. And then if we go to the top one there, hang on, that one might get everyone in. There you go. You can see just in the top there, Tottenham 1, Fulham 1. Still, that is crap, that form, isn't it? Again, that is crap form over the last 5 games.
It's 1 win in 5. We've won 1 game in 5. And this is why I've said a ton of times and people just don't like hearing it, because the truth is something that upsets a lot of Spurs fans. Until we go 5 Premier League games, not even Europa, 5 Premier League games without defeat, I'm not getting on board with anything. I don't back the manager. I don't think these players are good. And I don't want Levy as the chairman. I'm against all of it because, again, we are set up for failure. And eventually we will. This isn't even the business end. What happens when the pressure really kicks in? We're going to absolutely buckle because we're proving we're not good enough, to win 1 game in 5 and to have the absolute audacity as a Spurs fan to say we're progressing. Can't you see we're going in the right direction? How dare you say that when we win 1 game in 5? Where is the logic, the common sense, the evidence? Just humble yourself with the truth. We're not consistent. We're inconsistent. We say this word every week. Our inconsistency is on Ange. Levy never made those subs today. Daniel Levy never made those substitutions. Daniel Levy never put us up like that today.
Are you praising Daniel Levy? There you go. Clip it. Stel is Levy in. Clip it.
And my fuck. Listen, I want Levy out, Lange out, Ange out, Mason. I want it all out. I don't rate any of it. But today, to not be able to see what Fulham were doing and to nullify it and to counter it and to not make the appropriate subs when you're down to 10, when they're down to 10 men to kill it off. I'm sorry. We've seen this too many times. We've seen this every single week. We see this. Win, lose, win, lose. Now it's win, draw, draw. Savva, I don't think we're beating Bournemouth. And I don't think we're beating Chelsea for toffee. I think at best we get a draw at Bournemouth. And Chelsea, I'll be shocked if we get a point from that game. I think Chelsea are going to have us. And I think Bournemouth we draw. I don't think there's a little surprise coming here, Savva. I know there's always one. I don't. Not this time, I don't.
Well, let's look. First of all, I'm guessing this is Marlon, right? Marlon, yes, I know it is Marlon because he told me the other day he's 18 again this year. Big up, Marlon, and everybody.
Happy birthday.
Marlon, we bought you a present. We got you a really hard-fought 1-1 draw at home to Fulham, who just got battered by Wolves. Listen, big up, Marlon. I hope you're well, my man. Look, I don't want to go for another 5-10 minutes or so still, but again, I can't understand when all week we just see these videos. And by the way, sorry, I did just see, I did mean to read out a comment from, where was this comment? It was from a new subscriber. So Jeremy, big up to you. It said, new subscriber, absolutely embarrassing. How they couldn't take advantage of 10 men. Too many players passing instead of trying to score. Again, by the way, it's, you've got 5-10 minutes of a game to go. They've got 10 men. You're not winning. Throw the kitchen sink. Get the ball in the box, but no one wants to take that responsibility. Foxy said, Leon, I think we'll let you down. By the way, Real Madrid have just gone 2-0 up. So Real Madrid, that is now in. It's purely down to Leon and Juventus. Stel, I keep hearing that give him time, it's going to change. This isn't changing from week to week. And again, it showed the game against Man City, when people said he's learned, he's moved, he's adapted, he hasn't. He changed it for one game. And the last two games against Roma and Fulham, we've been wide open again. And again, how many chances conceded in those two games at home? It's poor.
The Man City game is an anomaly. I'm sorry. Man City, Feyenoord came back from 3 down in 15 minutes. Is that a Feyenoord masterclass? Is their manager a genius? Are those players super now because they came back and scored 3? No. City are in a mess right now. They're in a very difficult place. They haven't been in for maybe a decade, okay? We caught them right at the right time. And the same applies to, Michael McIntyre's at Spurs Toronto today.
Brian Daigle with Michael McIntyre. Well, he was listening to comedy and watching comedy. So fair play. Big up, Daigle. Love you, man. Love it. Love it.
Big up.
Oh,
Big
dear.
up to Daigle and McIntyre. Big up to Toronto Spurs as well. If ever you're in Canada, I've been there. The Scotland Yard pub on a match day is actually pretty good. So fair play to them.
I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Canada.
Mate, listen, good food, good people. It's all right. Yeah, look,
Michael, I don't know, mate. I don't know, Michael. I don't know why people, they don't want the truth. We beat City and everything's amazing. Videos are made about us. They're negative. Look how wrong they are. The 4 games either side of Man City, we've looked crap. It's almost like, do you know how I liken it, Stel? And I do want to end in 2 minutes because I want to watch the Liverpool City game and have a roast before my show later. But I almost liken it to when we play City, it's almost like, you know, when a League One or a Championship team has their big FA Cup 3rd round game against a bigger club. You know, it's almost like they get completely up for it. Then they go back to playing teams at their own level and they look very, very ordinary. Look, Stel, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to leave it here. Listen, what do we do here? Like everyone keeps saying, just give it time, but nothing is changing. Nothing is changing, is it?
No, we're still inconsistent. Like, what Spurs fan hand on that? Look, earlier on, there was people in the chat like Cam Tilly, Stel this, Stel that, Stel's this. Just be positive. We're going to smash Fulham 3-1. Where are you now, Cam? See, what happens is when we don't get the result, a lot of these fans that criticize or question us, they go missing. They go into hiding. But as soon as we win, what are you going to say now? And there's this situation at the club now, Savva, where when we win, the Ange in brigade, hurrah, and the Ange out, or the Ange questioning Ange brigade, we're in the mud. You don't know what you're talking about. When we don't get the result and we play badly, the Ange in brigade go missing, and fans like you and me who question Ange, we've got plenty to say. And there's this divide. I don't think we go anywhere with this divide. And the only way you stop that divide is the team needs to consistently perform and win for us to say, right, there's something here to really get behind. More than field tilt, more than XG, more than actual results. Like you said it at halftime. Stel, Man United have won. Chelsea are winning. They're like, we need to, surely, even by not playing badly, we just got to find a way to win this game. We said, yes, we must. Even if it's not entertaining. He can't do it. He can't do it.
I completely agree with you. I know. Listen, guys, I am going to leave it there. Big up Mile High Hotspur. Listen. Only Mile High Hotspur. What you've got to understand, dude. Listen, you know I love you, Leo. But what you've got to understand is some of these fans come in and the things they say in our chats, Leo, are vile. The things that go around the internet about us are vile. And they'll come in when we win a game. You guys are this. You guys are wankers. You guys are this. When we lose, I don't see the same energy from these people. So look, dude, you know I love you. So I've got nothing bad to say against you, Leo.
It's not hard to understand. I don't know why Leo's making it complicated. At the end of the day, if people are going to criticize, are we not allowed to call that out and say, well, where's that criticism now? Look at that. Were you entertained? Was that a good performance? Do you not think Ange could have done better? Were these players amazing the way we've made them out to be? Because these are the criticisms we get when we say it. So I want to know from those particular fans, talk to me about that now. Because when we've said that, we get criticized for saying it, but that's exactly what we just saw. Everything we've criticised, we just saw today. So that's what I'm calling out. I'm challenging criticism.
I'm calling out a roast. So, Stel, thanks for coming on. Guys and girls, I will be live tonight for the Spurs review. I've got Danny is coming on. I think Box Office will probably want to come on and have his rant. We've got Lubo is coming on. We've got Jose is coming on. I feel I've missed someone, but listen, join us and then join Stel on Tottenham Way straight after at 9 p.m. I'll redirect to him. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the super chats. And sorry that Spurs have let us all down again. Take care, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs.